So my dear friends, if I am audible and visible to all of you, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box. If I am audible and visible, I request all of you to give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can start with the today's session. Hello Harshal, ABC and all the people who have joined us live today in this session. Ria, ABC and all other people. Very good evening. And I believe that you have revised the session that we have conducted in the past 2 days and you are done with the revision of 1st to 7th of April 2026. And today we are going to cover the 8th to 15th of April 2026. So please, I am requesting again to all of you, if I am audible and visible to all of you, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that we can start with the today's session. So my dear friends, again let me tell you that today's session is going to be very important one from the examination point of view, because today we will be covering the 8th to 15th of April 2026, right? As you can see that your RBI Grade B notification is already out today, okay? And we have to ensure that we are first focusing on the last 3 months from the examination point of view. The last 3 months are the most important ones. And then after that we will be covering the 4th and the 5th month, but in the 4th and 5th month we will be only covering the articles which are important only for phase 1 and 2. Understood? I hope this is clear to everyone. So I can see Harshal is saying revised, Ujjwal is saying revised, so everybody is saying that yes, it is revised. So yes, definitely ABC, let me tell you here that they will be included in the upcoming timeline, right? These master directions of the RBI, they will be included in the upcoming timeline. Don't worry about it. Okay. So coming to this particular session, my dear friends, now let's come back to the session and start our 8th to 15th of April 2026. And before that, I also want to request all of you that please ensure that do not waste your time now and don't wait for the last minute. Please ensure that in next 2 days only you are done with your form filling process, right? We have already released the form filling video, right? We have already released the form filling video, which will be helping you to ensure that how exactly you have to fill out your RBI Grade B 2026 form and what mistakes you have to avoid in that particular form. Okay, clear? Now moving ahead. So my dear friends, as you can see here that this particular document is a quite longer one and I cannot cover this document in a single day, in which we are not just covering but revising and retaining the important things, right? So that is why today we are having the class and this is the part 1, right? And tomorrow we will be having the part 2 of this particular class. Clear to everyone? Clear to everyone? So today we will be covering the part 1 first. Let's begin. Let's begin, and the very first news article is on the career cards for the children with the special needs has been launched. So my dear friends, career cards for the children with the special needs launched, right? So let's try to understand this with the help of a very small example. Let's take an example that you and your friends have been to a restaurant, right? You have come to that restaurant for the very first time and you don't know that what exactly is the food which is available there. So what exactly you will be looking for? No ABC, tomorrow we will be having the class at 4 p.m. Okay. Now please let's come back to the session. Please try to focus on the session. So if I ask you, if you are going to a restaurant with your friend and you are not aware that what exactly are the dishes which are available in that restaurant, what exactly you will be looking for? So I can see some of the people are saying menu card. So this menu card will be helping you to understand that what are the different dishes, what are their prices, what are their specialities, right? So with the help of that menu card only you will be able to understand that. Okay. Similarly, my dear friends, and if I say if there is a menu card, where in a very small letters they have mentioned these are the XYZ dishes which are present, then again it will be problematic for you to understand, right? Similarly, let me tell you here that Government of India has created a career card. This career card, just try to understand, this is a menu card of the restaurant. This is a menu card. Now these children with the special needs, they were unable to get the access, like what are the different policies, schemes, initiatives that have been taken by the government of India, right? What are the different career prospects for them? What are the different areas where they can work, where they can learn, where they can go, right? In order to make these people understand about it, and so that they are easily able to understand it, right? See, what happens is that already there are schemes and initiatives which are being taken by the government, but these are not reaching to the real beneficiaries. To make them aware of that, now Ministry of Education has come up with this initiative of the career cards, right? These career cards have been launched by the Department of School Education and Literacy under the Ministry of Education for the children with the special needs in New Delhi. So New Delhi के अंदर इसको लॉन्च किया गया. It will support students, teachers and the counselors in making informed career decisions, ensuring inclusive and accessible career guidance. So with the help of these cards, now these students, these children with the special needs can make informed career decisions. They can ensure inclusiveness of these children under the initiatives which have been launched for them, and accessible career guidance. And guys, this each card offers concise information on the roles and responsibilities, what are the required qualifications and the potential career pathway on which they can go in the upcoming future. Are you guys able to understand it? Are you guys able to understand it? Now is it easy to understand for all of you that what these career cards are all about? Now guys, as you can see that in the, when you went to the restaurant, right? So there must be some chef who are creating those dishes, right? Similarly, when it comes to this career card initiative has been developed in collaboration with the UNICEF India and the NCRT. UNICEF India and the NCRT, right? The Central Institute of Educational Technology, Pandit Sundarlal Sharma Central Institute of Vocational Education, Pratham Education Foundation and National Institute for Disabilities under the Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities have basically also collaborated and contributed for the launch of this particular initiative. So I believe that this part is very much clear to everyone. Okay, coming to the NCRT, my dear friends, we have covered in the yesterday session that NCRT has been allowed under the UGC Act to be acting as a deemed to be university, right? तो कल हमने इसको कवर किया था एंड इट वाज लॉन्च इन 1961 में NCRT इस्टेब्लिश हुआ था. तो वी हैव टू बेसिकली कवर ऑल दीज आर्टिकल्स इन सच काइंड ऑफ मैनर दैट दे आर रियली इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड, राइट? Now what are the other key features here? So these career cards will be aligned with the National Education Policy and the National Curriculum Framework for School Education, and they will be promoting inclusive career guidance for these children with the special needs. NCRT developed 150 career cards specifically for children with the special needs, providing information on roles, qualifications and the career pathways. Okay. Now my dear friends, I would like to ask you, can anybody please tell me that what exactly is the name of the department which has come up with this initiative? Answer will be Department of School Education Literacy under the Ministry of Education. Who are the beneficiaries for this initiative? The children with the special needs, right? Who have collaborated along with the Department of School Education and Literacy for the launch of these career cards? That is the UNICEF India, NCRT, Pratham Education Foundation, which are one of the major institutions, right? Now let's move ahead to the next news article. Are you guys clear with the first one? The first one is clear to everyone? So the first one is clear to everyone? Okay, I can see here the responses of all the people that yes, it is clear. Now let's move ahead to the next news article. The campaign launched to establish Skills Outcomes Fund for Youth Livelihoods. So my dear friends, before moving on to this article, I am having a very interesting example for all of you to understand what exactly this Skill Outcome Fund for Youth Livelihood is all about, right? What is this particular initiative is all about? Let's take an example that you go to a gym, right? Let's take an example that you are going to a gym and you pay rupees 10,000. You pay rupees 10,000 to a personal trainer, right? That I want to lose 5 kg of weight in 2 months. I am giving you 10,000 rupees. Okay. And now after 2 months, what is the result? Let's take an example. You did not lost your 5 kgs, right? Why? because it may be the reason that you were having the cheat meals, it may be the reason that trainer was not training you properly, right? But now let me give you the another condition, that now you go to a gym and you ask the trainer that I want to lose 5 kgs. He says, okay, give me 10,000 and I will help you to lose the 5 kgs. But you told to him that I will be giving you 10,000 only when I will be losing 5 kgs of weight, right? Now what will happen? This trainer will definitely give more focus on you. He will take all the controls. He will see, he will monitor that whether you are basically having the balanced meal or not, you are not doing any cheat meal, you are doing your exercises properly, right? So what happens is a lot of monitoring will be done, because now the money that he will be getting is now result based, right? Earlier what was happened, he just took the money earlier only, but now this money that he will be getting is only after getting the result. So this kind of concept has been used by the government of India. How exactly? Let me tell you. Earlier what was happening, that government was funding the training institutes for training the youth of the nation, and they were providing the training. But what was happening is that these trained youth, they were not getting jobs. So now government of India decided that okay, so this is really a very cause of concern, right? This is a cause of concern. So basically, why not we basically reverse the process now? Now we will be telling the institutes that see, you train the students will get job, and then we will be funding you for training the students. Understood? So here you can see, let's come back to this news article. So Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship initiated a campaign to build a skill outcome fund to support aspirational livelihoods for youth from the low income background. So the people who are from the low income backgrounds, right? So they were basically taking these trainings, but they were not able to get the jobs. So that is why, to support the aspirational livelihood for these youth from low income backgrounds, we have come up with a skill outcome fund. That means when that skill will give you the livelihood, then only we will be providing the funding for that. So the fund aims to mobilize public and private capital and scale outcome based financing. What is the outcome based financing? I already explained to you, right? Linking investments to verified employment outcomes. I told you that the funding will only be given when there is a verified employment of the youth, then only the funding will be given. Okay, so it will be anchored. So guys, let's take an example, that when you were going to the gym, right? So in every gym there is a floor manager who basically sees that okay, whether all the trainers are working properly or not, they are guiding the people properly or not, right? Whether the results which have been shown by these trainers, that okay, I have helped that XYZ person to lose 5 kg, whether it has already happened or not, right? So that floor manager will be working as a manager or the referee for this game, right? Similarly, in this game of the skill outcome based funding initiative, the National Skill Development Corporation under the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship will be acting as that manager or referee in partnership with not-for-profit and philanthropic organizations. Now this initiative will be becoming the largest OBF initiative for skilling globally and strengthening India's skill ecosystem with a focus on measurable outcomes. So we are basically now not just funding blindly, we are now first measuring the outcomes, and on the basis of that only we will be providing that particular funding. Clear or not? Are you guys getting the point? Are you guys able to understand these articles? Please tell me in the chat box. So guys, basically, see, before starting this particular initiative, right, let's again go back to that example of gym. See guys, if you want to build a very long gym chain, before that what exactly you will do? You will first open a single gym. You will do all the testing, that okay, these are the things that I will be doing in my complete gym chain, right? And then you will be creating that whole chain, right? Similarly, as on a pilot basis in 2021, Government of India built a skill impact bond, which was again launched by the NSDC. The total outlay of that bond was 130 crores, under which 34,000 youth, in which 74% were women, across 21 states, they participated, and 62%, you can see 92% got certified, 76% got placed, and 62% retained their jobs. That means they were totally provided the training, and you can see here that how exactly it resulted into their part, like they were able to sustain their jobs. Clear to everyone? स्किल इम्पैक्ट बॉन्ड 2021 में लॉन्च हुआ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ नेशनल स्किल डेवलपमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन विद एन आउटले ऑफ 130 करोड़ रुपीज. Please tell me in the chat box, are you guys able to understand it? If yes, now let's move ahead to the quick recall. Are you guys ready for the quick recall? Let's move ahead for the quick recall now. So guys, here is your Drishyam round PDF for this second week, right? Now here is the very first question. Here is the very first question. Career cards for children. Just give me a second. Let me on the annotations. Okay, now it is on. So guys, the Department of School Education and Literacy, Ministry of Education launched career cards for Dash in the New Delhi. Who are the beneficiaries? Children with special needs. This is the right answer. Now the card aims to support students, teachers and counselors in making Dash and ensuring inclusive and accessible career guidance. So what they will be making here with the help of this career card, like you guys were having the informed decision making, right? You were watching the menu card and you were ordering the food. Similarly, they will be having the informed decision making. Absolutely right. Now moving ahead, the initiative was developed in collaboration with UNICEF and NCERT, and NCERT I told you was established in 1961. Yesterday we covered that it has been allowed to be acting as a deemed to be university. Absolutely right. Now moving to the next article, campaign launched to establish skill outcome fund for the youth livelihoods. Okay, so the Dash has been initiated a campaign to build skill outcome fund to support in aspirational livelihoods for the youth, right? So what is the name of the ministry? Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Now the youth will be from which background? Low income background, right? जो already high income backgrounds हैं, they are basically, you know, studying in the private universities and they are getting good packages, right? But what about the low income backgrounds? If they are not able to get the admission to their colleges, to the public colleges, right, to the government colleges. So that is something that we have to understand here. Okay. Now guys, moving ahead, it will be anchored by which organization? It will be anchored by NSDC. Absolutely right. Now it builds on which particular initiative that was being launched? That is the social impact skill impact bond. It was a skill impact bond. Absolutely right. This is the right answer. So my dear future officers, please tell me, are you guys getting it? We are done with the 2 articles of the today. Phase 1 and 2 articles, they are very important. Are you guys able to understand it? Please give me a thumbs up in the chat box first, then only I will be moving ahead, because I want to ensure that yes, you are not just learning, you are not just revising, you are also retaining the impact, right? You are also retaining the facts. Absolutely right. So I want confirmation from all of you. Are you guys getting it? So yes, I can see that all the people are able to understand the articles. Well done. Thumbs up from everyone. Let's move ahead. So now moving on to the next article, that is the Niti Aayog released report on women's role in India's credit market. Okay, so what is the title of the report? It is From Borrowers to Builders. The name of the report is From Borrowers to Builders, Women and India's Evolving Credit Market. Okay, Women and India's Evolving Credit Market. So guys, let's take an example that there is a small child, right? He takes the pocket money from his parents and he spends it completely, right? But let's take an example, the name of the, let's take another example that there is a person, right? He took 50,000 rupees from his parents and he started a business, and now he is turning it into the profitable business. So now he has started earning from that business, right? So this was a difference. Definitely Ujjwal, you can use that in the gender issues part also. Okay, moving ahead. So you are able to understand this part. Okay, now let's take an example, the cases of the women. Earlier what was happening, that women were taking the loans. Women were taking loans for what purposes? For consumption, for their houses, right? But now what they have started doing, they have basically started taking loans for the businesses, and they are turning these businesses into the big brands. So now they are turning from borrowers to the builders, right? They are turning from borrowers to the builders. So that's how today we will be understanding that how much these women have borrowed, उन्होंने कितनी borrowing की, right? And what exactly is that credit portfolio that is there for these women borrowers. Clear? So my dear friends, this particular report was prepared under the Women Entrepreneurship Platform by TransUnion Civil and Microsave Consulting. So MSc and Civil have basically came together to basically launch this particular report along with the Niti Aayog. The report builds on collaboration initiated by WEP in 2025 under its Financing Women Collaborative to address gaps in the availability of sex disaggregated data on the women's access to the formal credit. ठीक है? So basically in 2025 a collaboration was initiated by the Women Entrepreneurship Platform under its Financing Women Collaborative to address the gaps. See guys, earlier what was happening is that there was a lot of gap in the number and the amount of loans given to the male and as compared to the given to the females, right? So women were not having that much access to the formal credit and we were not having proper data on it, right? So now we have got that particular data, and from which we have able to understand that women borrowers hold a credit portfolio of 76 lakh crores, which accounts for 26% of the total system credit. That means if 20% of the credit is going to the women borrowers, then the remaining 74% is going to the men borrowers. I hope that this is basically clear to everyone. Okay, so 76 lakh crore and 26% of the total system credit, right? When it comes to the credit exposure, now it has increased. See, since 2017 it has increased 4.8 times. The credit exposure has increased 4.8 times. That means now we are really trusting women a lot, that yes, if they are starting a business, they will be definitely turning it into profitable one. So they are indicating a shift from access led inclusion to progression led participation in the formal credit ecosystem. Between 2017 and 2025, credit active women borrowers grew at a CAGR of 9%. You can see here that what is the rate at which these credit active women borrowers, like they are taking the money, they are borrowing the money and they are quite active, right? So that is 9%. Credit penetration, guys, among the women, the credit penetration has increased to 36% from the 19%. From 19% it has increased to 36%. Total credit increased from 16 lakh crore to 76 lakh crore. We have already covered the total credit portfolio was 76 lakh crores, right? And it has basically increased from 16 lakh crores. Total system credit, what exactly is the percentage? 26%. Credit exposure increased by how many times? 4.8 times. Now the total 45 crore credit eligible women in India. 19%. See, when we talk about the growth driven by the commercial credit, the women business owners are recording 31% CAGR. 22 to 25 compared to 17% overall. पहले 17% था, अभी 31% है. Or 19% of the microfinance institution borrowers can now have retail commercial loans. Okay, I hope this is clear to everyone. Is this data clear to everyone? Let's move on to the quick recall now. Quickly, let's move on to the quick recall. So here we are talking about the women's role in the India's credit market. What is the name of the body which released this report? It is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is the right answer. Absolutely right. The report was prepared under which platform? Women Entrepreneurship Platform, right? The women borrowers hold a credit portfolio of how much amount? 76 lakh crore is the right answer, which is 26% of the total system credit. Now the credit exposure has increased by how many times? What is that particular part? It is 4.8 times. Absolutely right. Now the credit active women borrowers grew at a compounded annual growth rate of what percentage? They have increased by 9%. The credit penetration increased from 19% to 36%. Dash of the microfinance institutions borrowers now have retail commercial loans. Now this question is for all of you. Please give me the answer in the chat box. What is the right answer to this question? Okay. And I can see here that yes, most of the people have given me the right answer to this question. Absolutely right, it is 19%. 19% is the right answer. Bilkul sir, I can see in the chat box. So well done Kashish, Harshal, Riya, Ujjwal. So everybody has given the right answer. So clear to everyone? We are done with another article. Now let's move on to the next article. Now the next article is Cabinet approves rates for P&K fertilizers for Kharif 2026, right? The Kharif season is from April to September. Kharif season is from April to September, right? And Cabinet has approved the nutrient-based subsidy rates for phosphatic and potassic fertilizers for Kharif season of 2026. Guys, now why exactly government is doing this, right? Why exactly it has been done? See, my dear friends, let's take an example. Let's take an example that you and your friend, right? They are going for you guys are going to a restaurant, right? Let's take an example. You have already become the RBI Grade B officer, right? Now you are getting decent salary, but your friend is still preparing for the RBI examination, right? Now what exactly comes is when you will see that, let's take an example, the total bill was 1000 rupees, right? But your friend can only afford rupees 300. So you will support your friend by giving 700 on your own because you are already having a decent salary, right? Are you guys getting it? So basically you will be supporting your friend, okay? Similarly, my dear friends, there are farmers in our country, right? And sometimes what happens is the rate of the fertilizers which are being used by these farmers on the land, so basically it increases. When the global rate increases, in India also the rate of the fertilizers increases, and at that point of time it becomes really difficult for these farmer friends to pay for that particular fertilizer, okay? So now government decided that if they are not able to pay, don't worry, farmers, we are there with you, we will be supporting you, right? We are your true friend, we will be supporting you, don't worry about it. So guys, basically what was happening is that now government said that okay, we will not be helping you blindly, right? Just on the basis of the bag price. Let's take an example. There was a bag price, right? There was a bag of those particular fertilizers, okay? And this is of 1000 rupees. The cost of the bag is 1000 rupees. But government says that we will basically not provide you the financial assistance or the subsidy, right? Completely on the price of the bag. We will be giving the subsidy on the basis of the composition of the nutrients which are there in those fertilizers, which is there in the bag, right? So on the basis of the composition of the fertilizer, we will be providing you the subsidy. And for which fertilizers it is been provided? These fertilizers are phosphatic and potassic fertilizers. Clear to everyone? Understanding it? So in order to support the farmers by giving them subsidy, government has approved nutrient based subsidy rates. This is called nutrient based subsidy rates for phosphatic and potassic. Now what is the tentative budgetary requirement? It is 41,533 crores, right? Which is 4317 crore above than the previous year. Now the subsidy will be provided on P&K fertilizers including DAP and the NPKs grades based on the approved rates to ensure availability at the affordable price to farmers, right? So basically what they will be doing is they will be providing the subsidy on the P&K fertilizers, right? And this will be based on the approved rates to ensure availability at affordable price, so that these fertilizers are being available to the farmers at a very affordable price, okay? The subsidy will be provided to fertilizer manufacturers and importers under the NBS scheme effective from 1st April 2010. See guys, when it comes to this NBS scheme, it will be basically active since 1st April 2010. So I hope this part is clear to everyone. Now let's move on to the quick recall. Are you guys ready with this? Okay, now let's move on to the quick recall. Now the first question is, the Union Cabinet approved the nutrient-based subsidy rates for dash and dash for phosphatic and potassic fertilizers, right? For the Kharif season, which is between April to September 2026. Now the tentative budgetary requirement will be, it was around 41,000 crore rupees, right? and the subsidies provided to fertilizer manufacturer importers under the NBS scheme, which is effective from which year? It is effective from 2010. Absolutely right. So I am really glad to see everybody of you is able to answer all these questions that we have discussed. So my dear friends, please tell me in the chat box, is it really helpful? The way we are covering these current affair articles, is it really helpful for all of you? Because I just don't want that I am just reading the news article and just telling you that these are the numbers, try to retain them. No. I think when you will be having better clarity about the article, you will be having better understanding about the article. So already there are very less amount of things that you need to learn, right? For example, if I talk about that career card for the children with special needs, now you know very well. For the children, NCERT is working there, right? UNICEF is working there, Department of School Education Literacy is working there, right? So now we have just understood it and we have basically related with the very practical example in our own life, and that is why it is helping you to retain the information from examination point of view, right? So I'm just trying that, okay, even when we cover less number of articles, but at least whatever we are covering, it is impactful and you are able to retain it from exam point of view. Because there is no point if I'm just covering 50 articles in just 3 hours of class and you are not able and you're not getting anything, right? So I basically believe in this philosophy. Okay, so I can see that yes, all the people are able to understand. Harshal, Kashish, Riya, Joshlin, Dipali, Material Share, Riya, Kashish, everybody is able to understand. That's really good. Now let's move on to the next article, my dear friends. Another important article coming on the way, that is 1000-kilometer quantum communication network has been demonstrated. Now let's try to relate this with again a help of example, right? So my dear friends, first of all, you must be having a question that what exactly is this quantum communication network? Quantum communication network. Okay. So let's take an example that you and your friend are having a very, very secretive chat, right? You are having a very, very secretive chat with each other and you just don't want that anybody else is hearing you, right? Because there is a kind of privacy issue. You just want that only that person is aware of that, not any other person. Understand? Clear to you, right? But what happens that the other person, that this chat is being read by other person also, you won't like it, right? Similarly, let me tell you what happens is that there are so many times we want to disseminate some information. For example, the codes for the nuclear reactors, right? For example, some very critical locations of the country, like where exactly we have basically set up some things, some critical information about the different infrastructures, some top secret things, right? So basically for that part we need a very strong network which cannot be hacked. And you know what exactly we use there? We use quantum communication network. Now what is a quantum communication network? Let me give you an example. So let me tell you that let's take an example that you want to send a kind of message to your friend, right? Now you have sent a message to your friend and now I have seen that particular message. Now when I will see that message, what happens to that message? The moment I will see, it will destroy itself, right? And you and your friend will be able to understand that yes, there is some other person who has basically seen that particular message. Getting it? It's just like you must have seen the Mission Impossible movies where that person is getting the message, which is a kind of mission, and just after some time that mission, that complete thing just destroys itself, right? Same kind of thing we are using here. To keep the thing secret, we are using that quantum communication network which cannot be hacked. What happens? We are basically using the quantum particles, like how these atoms, neutrons are basically working. So when that particular particle get exposed, what happens is it changes its dynamics to ensure that that particular information which it was carrying, it remains hidden. Getting the point? So that's where we use this quantum communication network. Okay, so it has been successfully demonstrated under the National Quantum Mission with 2 years of its launch. So my dear friends, see, under the National Quantum Mission, we are having the target of 2000, setting up 2000 kilometers of the quantum communication, but now we are able to do that of the 1,000 kilometers. Let's take an example. It's that particular length which is between Delhi and Mumbai, right? That we are able to have that kind of secure network which cannot be hacked. Understood? So under just the 2 years of its launch, we are able to demonstrate the 1,000 kilometer quantum communication network, and under this mission we are having the target of setting 2,000 kilometer quantum communication network over a period of 8 years. तो 8 साल में हमें 2000 किलोमीटर का ये क्वांटम कम्युनिकेशन नेटवर्क सेटअप करना है. The milestone is achieved with the indigenous technology developed by QNU Labs. So guys, what is the name of that organization which has basically provided that technology with the help of which we are able to achieve this part? That is QNU Labs, Quantum New Labs, right? QNU Labs. So it focused on quantum safe cybersecurity solutions. The development is expected to enhance secure communication for defense financial systems. See guys, defense, financial systems, critical infrastructures. So we are able to, having a very secure communication for these kind of critical areas in our country. Clear to everyone? Are you guys able to understand it? So now moving ahead to the National Quantum Mission, guys. So National Quantum Mission was basically launched for this purpose only, where we launched it in 2023 with a total outlay of 6,003 crores. See guys, we are having the outlay of 6,003 crores for a period of 8 years. That is 2023 to 23, 24 to 2030, 31. Right? We wanted to seed, nurture and scale scientific and industrial research development and build a strong ecosystem in the quantum technology. So quantum technology के अंदर we want to have a very strong ecosystem, and that's why we try to work on it, right? The objective was very simple, that we want to develop intermediate scale quantum computers having the capacity of 52,000 physical qubits over a period of 8 years. So that is the power of these computers, and these are not normal computers, guys. These are very, very strong computers. So what are the key deliverables under this part? That we will be having a satellite based secure quantum communication within 2,000 kilometers in our country. Intercity quantum key distribution hoga over 2,000 kilometers. So these are the key deliverables under this part. Please remember that detail 2,000 is a very, very important thing, right? 2,000 kilometers is a very, very important thing. So under this National Quantum Mission, we are already having the 4 thematic hubs which have been established. These are for the quantum computing, like Foundation for the QC Innovation at IISc Bengaluru, IITM CDOT's Samganya Technologies Foundation at IIT Madras, QMET Tech Foundation, QMD Foundation at IIT Delhi. So you can see here, over the major institutions in our country, we are having these thematic hubs like IISc Bengaluru, IIT Madras, Bombay, Delhi. That is the part, right? So just remember BMBD, IISc Bengaluru, Madras, Bombay and Delhi. Clear to everyone? BMBD याद रहेगा सबको नेशनल क्वांटम मिशन में. तो हमने नेशनल क्वांटम मिशन को अच्छे से कवर कर लिया. इसका टाइमलाइन याद रखिए, दैट इज 2034 टू 2023, 24 टू 2030, 31. ठीक है. 6,003 crore is a total outlay. So everything we have done here. Clear to everyone? Clear to everyone? So now let's move ahead, my dear friends, and try to answer the next set of questions of the quick recall. So here the question is, a 1,000-kilometer quantum communication network has been successfully demonstrated under the dash within 2 years of launch under the National Quantum Mission, right? The mission targets a 2,000-kilometer quantum communication network over an 8-period year. Now the National Quantum Mission was launched in which year? 2023. Total outlay 6,003.65 crores. The total period is 2023, 24 to 2030, 31. Right? So I have a query. So Psych Security Singh, sir, will you be teaching the rankings and reports with the mnemonic like you taught last year? Definitely, we will be covering them in the similar manner. Don't worry about it. We will be covering that, right? In the similar manner. Don't worry. Now moving ahead to coming back to these quick recall, the satellite based secure quantum communication will be within 2,000 kilometers in our country in India, right? That's all from this particular article. So are you guys able to understand it? Please tell me in the chat box, my dear friends. Right now I can see that there are total 20 people in the class, guys. You can also help your fellow aspirants as well, your friends as well, so that they can also take the most out of these particular sessions. You can really share this session with other people as well, so that they can also join and get the most out of it. Let's have that philosophy of sharing and caring. Okay, I believe that all of you are already having that philosophy. I am no one to tell you that. Okay, now moving ahead to the next news article. Now let's move ahead. Let's move on to the next article. That is, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana provides collateral free loans up to rupees 20 lakh. So my dear friends, before directly moving on to the key details of this, a big scheme, we have to understand it with the help of a very, very small example. Okay, let's take an example. Let's take a small example that there is a tea shop wala who is basically running the tea shop on his cycle, right? If he is having no land, no such documents, right? And he went to the bank and he says bank that I want a loan. I want to create a brand like a Chayos, right? And I want loan. Okay, so will bank give the loan to the person? Answer is no. Bank will not give to the person. Okay, bank will not give loan to the person because he is not having any collateral. He is not having any land to put forward as a collateral, right? He is not having any kind of asset. So government sees this, that okay, there is a person who want to launch a business, but there is no such kind of help to those kind of persons. See, to the big companies, you can see that there are very big companies who are basically turning into the NPAs, right? They are not able to give their loans back, right? So Sushmita is asking, sir, please provide dark mode feature for reading PDFs. Okay, we will try, Sushmita. We will see with our technical team, if it is possible. We will definitely try it. Don't worry. Okay. So coming back to this example, so seeing this, government really become very emotional, right? Okay, so very bad things are going with these people, right? So why not? Let us enter into the market. So basically, government said that okay, you tea shop wala, you want to make a Chayos like brand on your own, don't worry, we will be providing you the loan, we will be providing you the funding, right? And that funding will be even collateral free. You are not required to put any collateral for that. Don't worry, we trust you, we are here to help you out, right? When nobody helps, government comes for help. Okay, just try to think like this. So in order to provide such kind of people loan so that they can start their own businesses, that is why government come up with the initiative of Mudra. So government, so that tea shop wala was requiring that Mudra, yeah, right? So basically government says, okay, don't worry, I will give you Mudra, don't worry. So that's how Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana was being launched on 8th of April 2015. And it has recently completed 11 years, my dear friends. See, why exactly we are covering it? A milestone has been achieved by the scheme. It has completed its 11 years since inception. That is why it is very important. Now, I already told you that without any collateral, we will be giving you 20 lakh rupees. So here, it provides collateral free credit up to 20 lakh through member lending institution. Now, what are these member lending institutions? Government is not giving money to on its own, right? Government is basically saying, hey, you scheduled commercial bank and you NBFC and you my MFI, please ensure my person is coming to you, right? Please ensure to give loan to that particular person, right? I don't need any complaints from that person. So basically that's how scheduled commercial banks, NBFCs and microfinance institutions, through these member lending institutions, this collateral free credit will be provided up to the value of 20 lakhs, right? Now guys, let me tell you, see, when you started your career journey, how exactly you started? First you were in the school, then you went to the college, then you went to the job, and then after having some savings, you start your own business, right? So it takes a time. There are different stages of moving ahead in the life, right? Similarly, when that tea shop wala person will be setting up his own brand, that particular person, that brand, that particular business will be having its own kind of life. And that is why we have divided into it into the 4 different cycles. What are these? Shishu, Kishore, Tarun and Tarun Plus. So I told you when you were a child, you were going to school, that is Shishu. Then you go to the college, that is Kishore. Then you go to the job, that is Tarun. And now you are making your own business, you are expanding your business, that is Tarun Plus. Right? Now there will be different types of loans. Now when you were in the school, you were having less responsibility. When you went to college, you were having a little bit more responsibility. Coming to the job, you were having more responsibility. Then starting your own business is a lot of responsibility, my dear friends, right? So that's how this particular scheme is also going to work. We are having Shishu, Kishore, Tarun and Tarun Plus. It's not like we will be giving 20 lakh loan to the Shishu. No, we cannot do that mistake, right? So what we will be doing is, we will be giving Shishu only up to rupees 50,000. We will be giving, okay, chai wala shop owner, okay, don't worry, take the loan, but we can only give you 50,000 rupees. Now when you will be able to expand, then we will be giving you, when you become Kishore, then we will give you 50,000 to 5 lakh. Or there is a person who is already in a Kishore stage, then we can provide them 50,000 up to 5 lakh, right? The loan amount between 50,000 and 5 lakh. Then after Kishore, the person becomes Tarun, right? Now we are having above 5 lakh and up to 10 lakh rupees loan. Now after Tarun, what will become? Tarun के बाद क्या होगा? Tarun Plus होगा. Tarun Plus बन गया, right? So now we are having up to 10 lakh, above 10 lakh and up to 20 lakh. So please remember here, 50,000, 5 lakh, 10 lakh and 20 lakh. Please remember these limits from examination point of view, right? So please remember Shishu, Kishore, Tarun and Tarun Plus. SKTT, simple. So now guys, as we are providing the financial help to these people who want to have such kind of aspirations of creating their own businesses. So finance kaun dega? Ministry of Finance. So the nodal ministry is basically the Ministry of Finance. Now please tell me, never in your life now will you be able to forget this information, that who will be giving this loan? Ministry. So basically what will be the name of the nodal ministry? That is the Ministry of Finance under the Department of Financial Services. Clear to everyone? Now the loans are available to individuals with a business plan for income generating activities in manufacturing, trading, services and agriculture allied sector. So किस sector में we can give loan? That is manufacturing, trading, services and agriculture allied sector. These are the different areas where in which a person can take that particular loan. Now objective is very simple, that by giving the loan we are promoting entrepreneurship, right? In the new generation, we are aspiring the youth that okay, yes, you can basically become a businessman. You don't need that particular enhanced amount of money, right? You don't need to go to the bank. We are helping you to get the loan. Understood? Now my dear friends, let me tell you that the Tarun Plus category was earlier not there. Earlier there were only 3 categories, that is Shishu, Kishore and Tarun. Earlier there were only 3 categories, Shishu, Kishore and Tarun. But now in 2024-25, we basically launched Tarun Plus category. Why? What was the requirement of that? See, if there is a business which is already in the Tarun, जो तरुण कैटेगरी के अंदर लोन ले सकता है और उसने पुराने लोन्स भी लिए थे. So now that particular person, right? Now that particular person wants to go more big. Now he wants to expand the business more. So that's why we have launched a new category for them, that is Tarun Plus category, under which we can provide them the loan of up to rupees 20 lakhs. Clear? Understood everyone? Now see guys, it is a very, very important part. Now the scheme supports small businesses, handicrafts, traditional enterprises and the agriculture allied activities with the significant benefits for women lacking collateral or the credit history, right? So you can see here, with the significant benefits for women who are lacking collateral and credit history, we are basically going to support them. Now there comes another important concept here guys. When a person is getting the Mudra loan, right? Mudra loan. So that person is also given the Mudra card. Mudra card. Now what is the Mudra card? So Mudra card, just take an example that it is basically a kind of a debit card. that you are having that particular amount in your bank account and you can use that amount as per the requirement. It's not like you got the 20 lakh rupees and you invested everything. No, you use all of them together and you are paying the interest on that. No, answer is no. Like, use it like a wallet. Today I need 200 rupees, today I need 20,000 rupees. I took 20,000 rupees from the Mudra card and I invested in it, right? So it is a kind of debit card which is issued against the Mudra loan account for working capital portion of the loan. Clear? The borrower can make use of a Mudra card in a multiple drawals and credits so as to manage the working capital limit in a cost efficient manner and keep the interest burden minimum. See guys, if he basically invests all the 20 lakh rupees in the single go on the very first day, he has to pay the interest on that particular amount, right? But if he has not even took that amount, right, he was only requiring 10 lakhs, so he just put the 10 lakhs, right, and he just withdrawn only 10 lakhs and now he will be investing it. So that's how it is going to work, right? So that he can keep the interest burden minimum. Now Mudra card also helps in digitalization of Mudra transactions and creating credit history for the borrower. तो क्रेडिट हिस्ट्री जो है अपनी बोरोवर के लिए उसको भी यहाँ पर क्रिएट करके रखेंगे. ओके, नाउ द मुद्रा कैन बी ऑपरेटेड अक्रॉस द कंट्री फॉर द विड्रॉल ऑफ कैश from any ATM or the micro ATM. See guys, from micro ATM, from the ATM, from the point of sale machines, you can basically withdraw the money from your Mudra card, from your loan account, right? And that is why government has simplified loan applications and disbursal through the platforms like Jan Samarth portal, which integrates 15 credit linked schemes with the self and assisted application options only. Now moving ahead. Now guys, what exactly Mudra stands for? Very important question for everyone. Like, we have covered the whole scheme, but we don't even know about the full form of Mudra. Let me tell you guys, Mudra stands for Micro Unit Development and Refinance Agency, right? माइक्रो यूनिट्स जो है हमारी छोटी छोटी जो यूनिट्स थी उनकी डेवलपमेंट हम करेंगे, राइट? सो माइक्रो यूनिट डेवलपमेंट एंड रीफाइनेंस एजेंसी, जस्ट ट्राई टू रिमेंबर इट लाइक दिस वे. It is an institution set up by the government of India for development and refinancing of micro unit enterprises. So we are basically, they are responsible for the development of the micro units and refinancing facilities will be provided to them. So that's why they have been created. The purpose is very simple. We will be providing funding to the non-corporate small business sectors through last mile financial institutions like banks, NBFCs and MFIs. So guys, ये आपको clear है? Who were basically authorized by the banks to give these loans? I told you, member lending institutions, scheduled commercial banks are there. There are the NBFCs, there are the MFIs. Now Mudra was registered as a company in the March 2015 under the Companies Act 2013. It has been launched as a non-banking finance institution with the RBI. So it has been launched as a NBFI with the Reserve Bank of India. Clear? So Mudra is clear to you. Micro Unit Development Refinance Agency. It has been launched in March 2015 under the Companies Act 2013, right? So if you will see the performance of the PM Mudra Yojana, till now 57.79 crore loans have been sanctioned and the amount is 40.07 lakh crores. When it comes to the women, they are having 37.4% of the disbursed amount and the new entrepreneurs are having 30.09% of them. Clear to everyone? So my dear friends, you can see here the intermediary based model as well of that particular PM Mudra Yojana, right? Mudra is a refinancing agency, provides financial support to lending institutions, right? For onward lending. Then MFIs, MLIs are there, banks, MFIs and NBFCs, they extend loan directly to the borrowers. तो ये directly borrowers को loan देते हैं. और जो मुद्रा है ये किसको देती है? ये lending institutions को देती है. See, Mudra is giving loan to lending institution and the lending institution is giving loan to the borrower. Borrower receive करेगा loan for income generating purposes. It includes micro units engaged in the manufacturing process. So the whole story we have covered in just with the help of a very single snippet only, right? Is this whole story about Mudra clear to you? तो ये मुद्रा का मुद्दा क्लियर हुआ सभी को? जल्दी जल्दी बताइए चैट बॉक्स के अंदर, सो दैट वी कैन मूव अहेड फ्रॉम द टू द नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल. See my dear friends, a very long scheme, but I have tried my best to simplify it in the easiest form so that you are able to understand it properly. Is it clear to everyone? My eyes are always on this chat box, right? So that I can see you are giving me the responses or not, whether you are having any doubt or not. Okay, so PM Mudra Yojana is clear to everyone. 20 lakh collateral free loan we are providing. Who will be giving? What is the name of the nodal ministry is clear. When the Tarun Plus category was launched, what is the amount that they can take under this part? Then what is the full form of the Mudra? What is the Mudra card? Mudra was launched as a company in under which section? Company is at 2013. It was launched in 2013, right? So everything is clear. Are you guys ready for the next part? For the quick recall? Everybody is ready for the quick recall? Okay, let's start. So the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana was launched in which year? Please tell me quickly. It has completed 11 years. It was launched in 2015. That is the right answer. It provides collateral free credit up to 20 lakhs. Absolutely right. Nodal ministry is Ministry of Finance, because we are providing financial help. So Ministry of Finance will come into place. Now, what are the limits of the 4 categories? Now I want all of you to give me the answer. So we are having 4 categories, that is Shishu, Kishore, Tarun and Tarun Plus, right? So Shishu can get the 50,000 rupees, Kishore 50,000 to 5 lakhs, Tarun 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs, Tarun Plus 10 lakh to 20 lakhs. Absolutely right. Now which category was introduced in 24-25? It was Tarun Plus category. Dash is a debit card issued against the Mudra loan account. What is the name? Mudra card. Absolutely right. Now Mudra stands for, what exactly Mudra stands for? Micro Unit Development and Refinance Agency. Absolutely right. Everybody is given the right answer. Well done, my dear friends. Well done, my dear future RBI officers. You guys are rocking today in this particular session. Well done. Now let's move ahead. So we are moving on to the next article, that is the publications divisions makes journals and ebooks available free, right? So recently the publication divisions has made some ebooks like journals like Yojana magazine. You must have heard about Yojana magazine, right? It is a very good magazine which provides us the developmental things in the rural sector. Then we are having the Kurukshetra, Ajkal, Bal Bharati and the weekly employment news. So these are the different journals which have been made available free by the publication divisions. And on what platform they have been made free? That is Prasar Bharati's Waves OTT platform. Please remember the name of the platform, Prasar Bharati Waves OTT platform. Okay. The initiative basically aims to democratize access to the credible and informative content across the country. Total 227 ebooks including the Bharat yearbook have been released for free access. So total 227 ebooks are there. Clear? Now these printed books can be purchased via Waves through CSC Grameen e-store under the Open Network for Digital Commerce. Now you must be thinking, sir, what is this ONDC? What is this Open Network for Digital Commerce? Right? Now you must be thinking, sir, what exactly it is? A very long explanation is there. Please explain it to us in a very simple manner, right? Don't worry, I am here for you. See guys, when it comes to the ONDC, let's take an example. Let's go back few years back, right? When the Paytm was launched. So when the Paytm was launched in the early years, what was happening is, from the Paytm, we can only pay to the person. So yes, Sejogu, this is important, right, from the examination point of view. Why? Because ONDC, see, ONDC is a very important topic. That is why it has been placed. Otherwise, it would have been in the phase 1 articles. But ONDC is there. That is why it is the part of the phase 1 and 2 article. That is a very important thing. Okay. So now let's come back to the example. In the early years, what was happening is, if we are having a Paytm, then we can only pay to the person who is also having a Paytm, right? And if we are having a phone pay, if I am having a phone pay, I can only pay you if you are having a phone pay, right? So what happens is, after that, the whole story, the whole game turned. How? When the UPI was launched. Then come UPI, right? And after the launch of UPI, if you are on the phone pay or the Paytm, like let's take an example, if I am on the phone pay, right, I can pay to you. If you are on the Google Pay, I can pay to you. Even if you are on the phone pay, I can pay to you. If you are on the Paytm, I can pay to you. If you are on the Amazon Pay, right? So to any platform we can share. Similarly, my dear friends, let me tell you that what was happening right now. Now take the example of Amazon. On the Amazon, the seller who is registered on the Amazon can sell to only that customer who is on the Amazon, right? Similarly, the seller which is on the Flipkart can sell only to the customer who is on the Flipkart, right? He cannot sell to the person who is on the Amazon. Okay, so there is no interoperability. So we needed that kind of UPI like structure here, and that's why we came up with the ONDC, that is Open Network for Digital Commerce. So what will happen under this part? Yes, Riya, absolutely right. Now we can share to any platform. Okay, so basically what happens is, with the help of ONDC, there is a seller on the Amazon can sell to a person who is the purchaser on Flipkart, and the person who is the seller on the Flipkart can basically sell to the person who is on the Amazon. Clear to everyone? So that's how it basically enhances interoperability between the different kind of parts. Just try to think it is a kind of road which is linking the different platforms to each other, right? So this is basically the ONDC. This is ONDC, which is linking all of them. Clear to everyone? So this was launched in April 2022 by the Government of India. It is a government-backed initiative to democratize India's e-commerce ecosystem. We are democratizing because now every seller will be able to sell to the buyer on any platform, right? It will promote open network for all aspects of the exchange of goods and services over the digital or electronic networks. It is open interoperable network. It is incorporated as a non-profit Section 8 company, guys. Please remember, the Mudra was launched under the Companies Act 2013, right? And ONDC is a Section 8 company. Incubated at Quality Council of India. And who was the co-founder here? Here Protean was joined by Protean joined the QCI as the co-founder for incorporation of ONDC. Okay? Supported by DPIIT under the Ministry of Commerce. I hope that all of you are able to understand ONDC clearly. April 2022 में launch हुआ था ONDC, right? So you can see the benefits are very simple. The seller is having the access to the wider audience. Buyers are having increased options for the products and the services. Like you can see that, okay, on the Snapdeal, Amazon, Flipkart, right now what happens is that you have to go to the 3 different platforms, and then you are seeing that, okay, on the Amazon now the price is low, so I can purchase from the Amazon, right? But when you are basically on the ONDC, you can see that, okay, on Amazon this is the price, Flipkart this is the price, Snapdeal it is the price, Myntra this is the price. Now you can see the best price. Okay, that's how it works. Clear to everyone? Now moving on to the next article. So India-Bhutan agreements on the hydropower and energy. So guys, recently Indian minister went to the Bhutan, right? And there basically they have worked on this part. So India and Bhutan signed key agreements to enhance cooperation in the clean energy and sustainable development. The engagements aim to open new avenues of collaboration and support mutual prosperity and well-being of both countries, right? So India and Bhutan have signed an agreement with each other in the clean energy and sustainable development. It aims to open new avenues of collaboration and support mutual prosperity and well-being of both the countries. A tariff protocol was being signed for the 1020 megawatt Punat Sangshu 2 hydroelectric project. See guys, let me tell you, here basically from this part you can see the question on the name of the country, that is Bhutan, or the name of this hydroelectric project, that is Punat Sangshu 2 hydroelectric project, right? So that is a very, very important part from examination point of view. Clear to everyone? Clear to everyone? Let's move on to the quick recall. First question for all of you. Publication division made its journals Yojana, Kurukshetra, Aajkal, Bal Bharti and the Weekly Employment News available free of cost on Prasar Bharati's which platform? It is Waves, OTT platform. Absolutely right. Now the ONDC was launched in April. April which year? What was that year? 2022. And my dear future officer, 2022 was the year when India and Australia signed the ECTA, right? Where India only provided 70.3% relaxations on the tariff lines, but Australia provided to India on 100%. Are you guys able to remember that information that we covered in the previous sessions? See, it is very, very important. Are you guys revising the things that we have already covered? It is very, very important from examination point of view. That's why we are covering it, okay? Moving ahead, when it comes to the ONDC, coming back to ONDC, it is incorporated as a non-profit Section 8 company. Absolutely right. QCI was joined by which organization? Protean. Protean is the right answer. Clear to everyone? Everybody, please tell me in the chat box. Are you guys able to understand all these articles from examination point of view? We are already done with the 8 articles. Are you guys clear with this information? Waiting for your responses. So my dear friends, let me tell you that it is very, very important for us to ensure that yes, we are able to cover each and everything, okay, from the examination point of view. And we are not just covering the things, we are retaining them as well. Clear? Now let's move ahead to the next part of the articles. So I can see some happy faces in the chat box that yes, everything is clear. So that means you are enjoying the session, right? Okay, so Harshal has already moved on to the next article, that is on the Womania initiative. Okay guys, Womania initiative to promote women entrepreneurs on the government e-marketplace, right? So we discussed the government e-marketplace in the previous session in a very detailed manner, right? So I don't think that it is really required to discuss that today as well. I told you that when you want to purchase something, you directly went on to the Amazon and Flipkart to purchase the things. But when government officers want to do it, they have to go to the government e-marketplace. From there, they can procure the things that they want to purchase, right? So when it comes to the Womania initiative, was introduced in 2019 under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry on the government e-marketplace. Okay ji. So it was introduced in 2019 under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry on the government e-marketplace. So basically what happens is, guys, what we are trying to do, I told you that government of India basically has launched government e-marketplace for more transparency and efficiency, right? So now they want that government offices are procuring from those businesses which are led by women, right? So that we can help them. So that is why you can see that we want to promote participation of women-led micro, small enterprises and self-help groups in the public procurement. Understood? It provides a dedicated digital interface for the women entrepreneurs and self-help groups to register, list products and sell directly to the government buyers. So we already covered, guys. So they are a dedicated digital interface for the women entrepreneurs and self-help groups where they can register, list products and sell directly to the government buyers, including the central ministries and PSUs. So Womania क्या है दोस्तों? It is a kind of platform where these women entrepreneurs are registering, are listing all their products and they can directly sell to the government buyers. So it basically provides them the good market access by simplifying entry requirements, enhancing the visibility, right? Enabling transparent buyer-seller interaction and reducing the dependency on the intermediaries. The initiative supports inclusion by expanding supplier diversity, strengthening women-led entrepreneurship. Now, what kind of products that they can provide there? They can provide them handicrafts, grocery and pantry, office accessories, handloom textiles, personal hygiene and care. So all these kind of products can be provided by these women entrepreneurs through Womania initiative on the government e-marketplace. Understood? So you can see here, guys, in a very easy snippet, you can see that how you can learn from here. See, digital onboarding of women entrepreneurs will be done on Womania. Then standardized catalog listing is there where they can basically list their products. So it is very transparent, fully digital procurement process. Like government offices will be reaching that particular platform, they will be purchasing from there. There is a time bound acceptance and payment mechanism. Like if you have basically, you know, accepted that particular order from that particular business owner, then you have to ensure that you will be paying them the amount in a particular timeline, right? Then training, outreach and support services are also being provided, so that's how we are upskilling them as well, and we are also helping them to grow their businesses. So that's how we are basically helping each other. Now my dear friends, moving ahead, let's move ahead to the next part. So we already covered government e-marketplace, right, which was launched in 2016. So I don't think that there is a requirement of again covering them. We have already covered them in the previous session. If you are someone who has not covered it, I told you that please come to the session only after the revision. So it is basically a problem from your end that you have not covered it. Okay. Moving to the next initiative, that is Swayat initiative, that is startups, women and youth advantage through e-transactions. It is an initiative of the government e-marketplace launched in February 2019 to promote inclusive participation in the public procurement. It focuses on enabling startups, women entrepreneurs, youth, micro and small enterprises, self-help groups and marginalized communities to access government markets. It removes entry barriers and enhance ease of doing business. Now let's try to understand this with the help of example. My dear friends, you go to the malls, right? I believe every one of you have been to malls somewhere in your life, right? Let's take an example. There is a big mall. You will see that all the brands are basically very easily are able to get the spaces in these malls, right? But if I tell you that there is a small ice cream seller who want to get the space in this mall, will he be able to do that? Answer means yes or no. Will that person will be able to get that slot, that space in the mall? You are saying no. Why no? Why not? Because they have to submit a lot of documents. They will see that okay, if you will be having the space in our mall, basically whether you will be the point of interaction or not, right? You will be the point of attraction or not. There will be a lot of entry barriers towards this mall. So basically what happens is, government says that okay, you are not able to go to that mall, don't worry about it. Let me tell that mall that okay mall, what you have to do, you have to basically have a backdoor entry. You must be having a backdoor entry, right, from where these small sellers can find some spaces inside that mall. You know, this is the work that the Swayat initiative is doing. Under the Swayat initiative, we are basically providing the startups, women and youth advantage through e-transactions, right? We are promoting inclusive participation in the public procurement. So that's how we have helped them to basically reach those government offices where they can also sell their parts. Are you guys able to understand? Like, I cannot make it more easier than this for you to understand it. So we are done with this initiative, Womania initiative, which was introduced in 2019 under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry on the government e-marketplace. The reason was simple. We want to promote participation of the women-led micro, small enterprises and self-help groups in the public procurement. Okay, it improves the market access, and we have already covered Womania initiative in a very detailed manner. For fiscal year 25-26, 2.1 lakh women MSCs are registered on the government e-marketplace, and they have secured 13.7 lakh order volume. Right? Yes, Joshlino, that is only the example to make you understand this. Okay, like we are just removing the entry barrier for that ice cream seller so that he can also come to that mall and sell the ice cream. Clear? So GEM initiative we have covered. 2016 it was launched. Now Swayat initiative, what is the full form? Please remember the full form. Sometimes they just ask at what exactly A stands for. The second A stands for in the Swayat. So it is advantage, that is startup, women and youth advantage through e-transaction. Clear to everyone? Let's move on to the quick recall for this part. So India has signed an initiative, agreement to enhance cooperation in the clean energy and sustainable development with which country? That is Bhutan. Now I asked you what is the name of that hydroelectric project. I specifically told you to remember the name of that particular project. So Sam is having a query regarding to how to fill the form, right? So Sam, don't worry, you can just contact us at 7717370166, which we will be helping you out. Or else what you can do, you can come to our Telegram channel and you can basically mention your query there, okay? And you can also write us an email at info@chapters.in, right? Your query will be resolved, don't worry about it, right? Now let's try to please focus on the session itself. Whatever you are having any queries, guys, apart from the session, please note it down. Use the other channels, right? Clear to everyone? Now let's move ahead to the next part, that is a Womania initiative. So Womania initiative to promote women entrepreneurs on the government e-marketplace. Okay, yes, so basically the answer to the previous question was left. So it was Punat Shangshu hydroelectric project. Absolutely right. Now moving ahead. Women initiative was been introduced in which year? Womania initiative was been launched in which year? Quickly tell me in the chat box. Let me see who will give me the right answer. What is the name? What is the year in which it was launched? So it was launched in year 2019. Okay? Moving ahead. Ministry of Commerce and Industry on the dash. Womania initiative was introduced in 2019 under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry on the dash. What exactly it is? It is government e-marketplace. So Prajwal is saying best channel to prepare for general awareness. Thank you so much, Prajwal, for your kind words. So moving ahead, as of fiscal year 25-26, over dash women MSCs are registered on the government e-marketplace. What is that number? That is 2.1 lakh. That is 2.1 lakh. Absolutely right. Now moving on to the next part, government e-marketplace was been launched in dash under the vision of minimum government maximum governance. Now what exactly is the right answer? It was launched in 2016, right? Now Swayat initiative. Swayat stands for what exactly? Swayat stands for? That is startups, women, youth advantage through e-transactions, right? That's what Swayat stands for. Absolutely right. It is an initiative of the government e-marketplace launched in which year? It was also launched in 2019. That's it from the examination point of view. That's all. Startup, women and youth advancement through e-transaction. Absolutely right. Really glad to see everybody of you giving me the right answer here. Now moving to the next news article, my dear friends, India has recorded highest ever annual solar capacity addition in fiscal year 25-26. So India has added around 45 gigawatts of solar capacity in the financial year 25-26, which is the highest ever annual addition, right? Rajasthan, Gujarat and Maharashtra has led the growth in the annual solar capacity addition. So my dear friends, India has added 45 gigawatts of solar capacity. See, 45 gigawatt of solar capacity has been added in the financial year 25-26. What are the states? RGM, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra. India has recorded 6.65 gigawatts in the March 2026 itself. And here RGT is the state which were the top contributing states. Earlier it was RGM for the complete year. Now we are having RGT, that is for the month of March 2026. Please remember 45 gigawatt and 6.65 gigawatt. Absolutely right. Clear? Moving ahead to the next part. The next question is on the scheme. So my dear friends, recently 52 applications has been approved under the PLI scheme for textiles. So we already discussed the PLI scheme earlier, right? The PLI scheme is the production linked incentive scheme. When you produce more, you will be incentivized more. That was the concept of the PLI scheme, right? So the government has basically approved 52 new applications under round 3 of the production linked incentive scheme for textiles. Okay. Now the approved applicants have committed an investment of 6708 crores. So basically they have invested, they will be investing 6708 crores with an expected turnover of 21,186 crores. So Mr. Tedits is asking, sir, please tell, can you launch full phase 1 and phase 2 and interview include batch for RBI Grade B 2027. So Mr. Tedits, definitely we will be launching very soon that particular course as well. Don't worry about it for the 2027, right? Right now, if you are eligible, try to appear in the 2026 examination. See, even if today you are starting and you are like giving completely your best, you are having some chances. Okay. So for food industry we studied absolutely right ABC. Now let's try to study it for the textiles. So PLI scheme for textiles. So textiles के लिए कौन सी ministry काम करेगी? Ministry of Textile. So it was launched in 24 September 2021. So it was launched on 24 September 2021 in order to promote production of man-made fiber apparel, man-made fiber fabrics and the technical textiles. So we want to promote the production of these kind of textiles. That is why we have come up with a PLI scheme for textiles. Okay, the total budgetary outlay is 10,683 crores. Aim is very simple. We want to enable textile industry to achieve scale, improve competitiveness. See guys, what we want to do? We want to scale up the textile industry. How we will be able to do that? We will be providing them the incentivization. We will be improving their competitiveness. So that's why this particular scheme has been launched. Now, what is the incentive structure under the PLI scheme for textiles? See guys, let's try to understand this. The incentives under the scheme will be provided for a period of 5 years. Please remember the timeline. 5 years is the timeline for which the incentives will be provided. From fiscal year 2025, 26 to fiscal year 29, 2030. Okay? So incentives under the scheme will be provided for a period of 5 years. From fiscal year 2025-2026 to fiscal year 2029-2030. Okay, that is the timeline. And the incentives are based on the incremental turnover. The more you will produce, the more incentive you will get. During the fiscal year 24-25 to fiscal year 28-29. See guys, a very important point. Incentives under this scheme will be provided for a period of 5 years. What are the 5 years? 2025-26 to 29-30, right? And these are based on incremental turnovers. During the fiscal year 24-25 to fiscal year 28-29. So एक साल कम कर दिया आपने मेजरली जहाँ से स्टार्ट हो रहा था. ओके. So now the companies who are achieving the investment and performance targets 1 year earlier, they can avail incentives in advance. That means, my dear friends, what happens is, let's take an example. You told me like you are in a school, right? And you are having 10 textbooks to read. If you read the 10 textbooks and you clear the examination and you get the 60% result, let me tell you that I will promote you from class 5th to directly to class 5th, 7th, right? From 5th to 7th I will be promoting you, right? So what is happening? I am promoting you. Why? Because you completed those 10 textbooks, you basically gave the exam and you attend 60% also, right? So I am promoting you from 5th to 7th standard. Similarly, my dear friends, let me tell you here a very, very important point, that the incentives under this particular scheme, if you are investing that particular amount that you have basically told, and you are also generating that performance target 1 year earlier, then you will be availing the incentive in the advance. So in such case, what will happen? The incentive period will shift to fiscal year 24-25 to 2029 for a duration of 5 years. Earlier this period was for fiscal year 25-26 to 29-30. Clear to everyone? Clear to everyone? So Ria, I will be taking those queries only after the session, right? I cannot take this query right now, okay, in the mid of the session, sorry. Okay, we will be coming back to your query after the session. So this is clear to you? The PLI scheme is clear to you. Total 52 new applications are there. 6708 crore is the investment. And PLI scheme was launched in 2021 under the Ministry of Textiles. 10,683 crore is the total outlay. The timeline is 5 years, 25-26 to 29-30. Incremental turnover will be for 24-25 to fiscal year 28-29. Clear to all of you? Now let's move on to the question. So please tell me, India added around what amount of solar capacity in the fiscal year 25-26? Let me see who will give me the right answer now. Let me see who will give me the right answer. India added around what amount of solar capacity? India added around what amount of solar capacity in the financial year 25-26? That is around 45 gigawatt. Absolutely right. And what was the amount that India recorded in March 2026? It was around 6 gigawatt. That is the right answer. Is that the right answer? Absolutely right. Now moving on to the next question. 52 applications approved under the PLI scheme for textiles. Now moving ahead, government approved how many new applications? 52 applications, right? Now PLI scheme was launched in year which year? 2021 में launch हुई थी ये. What is the total outlay? 10,683 crore rupees. Absolutely right. Now for how many years the incentive will be provided? For a period of 5 years. What was the timeline? 2025-26 to 29-2030, right? And in the case of incremental turnover, the timeline will be 2024-25 to 28-29. Absolutely right. Okay, in such cases, incentive period will shift to fiscal year 24-25 as mentioned above. Okay, ji, now let's move on to the next article. India has been elected to the multiple United Nations Economic and Social Council bodies at elections held at the United Nations headquarters. Okay, so India has been elected to all these UN ECOSOC bodies. What are these bodies? These includes Commission on the Science and Technology for Development. The timeline will be 2027 to 2030. Committee for Non-Governmental Organization 2027 to 2030. Committee for Program and Coordination, it will again for 2027 to 2029. Just remember, for all the economic and social council bodies, India has basically been elected for the timeline of 2027-2030, right? 27 to 2030. But except only one area, that is the Committee for Program and Coordination. Okay. Now coming ahead, a very very important part, guys. Preeti Saran was re-elected in her personal capacity to the Committee on the Economic and Social and Cultural Rights. For the Committee on the Social and Cultural Rights, for the period 27-2030, Preeti Saran has been re-elected in her personal capacity. And she had earlier also chaired a session of the committee. So that is a very very important part. So now let's try to understand, let's try to answer this question. So what is the name of that country which has been elected to the multiple UN ECOSOC bodies? That is India. India. Now what is the timeline for the Commission on Science and Technology for Development? 2027-2030. For the Committee on Non-Governmental Organization, 2027 to 2030. Then Committee for Program and Coordination, it is basically for 2027 to 29. Now moving ahead, who is re-elected in a personal capacity to the Committee on Economic and Social and Cultural Rights? That is Preeti Saran. Preeti Saran is the right answer. Clear? Let's move on to the next article. That is Sagar Mala program. Now my dear friends, Sagar Mala program is there. We already covered Sagar Mala program yesterday in one of the news article, right? We covered Sagar Mala program and the National Master Plan, right? Gati Shakti National Master Plan program in the Deen Dayal Kandla Port wala news article yesterday. Okay, so Sagar Mala program we already know was launched in March 2015, where we promote port-led development and improve logistic efficiency. We want to reduce the transport cost. We want to support the trade, right? And this scheme has now completed 11 years in 2026. So it was launched in 2015, completed 11 years in 2026. Okay. It focused on increasing the use of coastal shipping and inland waterways along with the road and rail, and promotes port modernization and private public investment. Now guys, what exactly are the different things we will be covering under the Sagar Mala program? First of all, we want to reduce the logistic costs. We want to lower logistic costs for the bulk commodities. We want to create jobs, development skills among the people. We want to enhance domestic waterways. So these are all the areas on which we will be working as a part of the Sagar Mala program. Right now, this program further has been divided into the 5 pillars and 24 categories. Now, what are these 5 pillars and 24 categories? So this includes the port modernization and new port development, port connectivity enhancement, port-led industrialization, coastal community development. So these are the different kind of 5 pillars which are there, the part of the Sagar Mala program. Port modernization and new port development, port connectivity enhancement we will be working on, port-led industrialization we will be working on, and we will be working on coastal community development. Okay. So here you can see that these are basically mentioned in a more interactive manner. So I believe that you can just go through that on your own, right? We have already discussed them. These are the same point, the 5 pillars under which this particular Sagar Mala is having. Now my dear friends, let me tell you that Sagar Mala 2.0. Sagar Mala 2.0 is basically building on that particular Sagar Mala program which was launched in year 2015, right? But the Sagar Mala 2.0 is on the Sagar Mala original scheme, right? You can see here, it has completed 11 years. Okay. Now moving ahead, the key objective for this will be to include supporting India's ambition of becoming a $30 trillion economy. What is the target of India? India want to become $30 trillion economy by 2047. Okay. That is the year advancing the Viksit Bharat mission. It aims to safeguard India's strategic interests, particularly through strengthened coastal and inland infrastructure. So we want to safeguard the strategic interests of the country. And how exactly we are going to do that? By basically strengthening our coastal regions and island infrastructures. That's how we are going to achieve it. Clear? Now the proposed financial outlay as a part of this particular initiative will be 85,482 crores. 8582 crores will be the total part. The proposed financial outlay for this particular scheme, and the total investment we are expecting is 3.6 lakh crore across the ports, waterways, maritime services. When we talk about the Sagar Mala, it is implementing 845 projects right now worth 6.06 lakh crores. Clear to everyone? So I know that there is a lot of data here, but yes, we have to cover that from exam point of view. Now guys, coming to the data, some static data is here. So people say that, sir, we were having a static question in the examination. Answer is no. This static information directly related to the Sagar Mala program. Like what exactly is the total coastline of India? That is 11,099 kilometers. Where 14,500 kilometers of potentially navigable waterways are there. 95% जो है इंडिया का trade by volume and 70% by value is handled through maritime routes only. Can anybody tell me when exactly we celebrate National Maritime Day? We covered that last day, that is 5th of April, right? Do you remember? And on the same day we celebrated the National Conscience Day also. So that's how we can correlate the different news articles together. Clear? I am really glad to see Harshal, Kashish, Ujjwal, Siddharth, Harshal, everybody has given the right answer. Well done everybody, well done. Now let's move ahead. Before that, let's try to answer the questions of this particular news article, right? That is a Sagar Mala program. Let's try to solve. So Sagar Mala program was launched in which year? 2015, right? Now it is a flagship program of the which ministry? Ministry of Ports, Shipping, Waterways. Program include projects divided into how many pillars? 5 pillars. The 5 pillars are already been mentioned. Okay. Moving ahead now, my dear friends, let's move on to the next article. Now we are having next article, that is RBI data shows decline in the CASA ratio. What is the CASA? That is the current account savings account, right? Current account savings account. So RBI has recently released some data in the CASA ratio and it has shown a declining trend there. Now what exactly it is, let's try to understand it. So according to the data released by the Reserve Bank of India, the share of low cost current account savings account deposits, see guys, low cost CASA deposits in the total bank deposits, they have fell. They have reduced to a 2-year low at 37.9% in the December 2025 quarter from 40.1% in December 23. So you can see here from 40.1% it reduced to 37.9%. The low cost CASA we are talking about. Current account, savings account, deposits, right? The decline is basically reason. What is the reason of the decline? Due to the savings accounts. Because the savings account share has basically dropped by 210 basis points to 28.9%. So what was the reason of the decline in the CASA? Basically the decline in the savings account. That is the reason. Overall bank deposits grew 10% year on year to 239.8 lakh crores, slightly lower than 11% growth in the previous year. So overall bank deposits, how much they have grown? By the 10%. So we told you the low cost CASA deposit has declined by 37.9%. What is the reason? Savings account. Why it has reduced by 210 basis points to 28.9%. And when we talk about the savings account balances, so total deposits have basically gone down. So basically savings account balance, but it increased to 8% to 69.4 lakh crores, while current account deposits have grown 10% to the 21.4 lakh crores. ठीक है जी? And when we talk about the overall bank deposit, it has grown by 10%. Okay, so that is basically what the RBI has mentioned. Now my dear friends, among them there is a certificate of deposit. Certificate of deposit, what exactly it is? It is a short term negotiable money market instrument which is being issued by the banks, under which are being used to raise funds from the market at a fixed interest rate. When you want to raise funds at a fixed interest rate from the market, so basically you issue the certificate of deposits, and they are basically the negotiable money market instruments. And who is issuing them? Banks are issuing them for a particular amount of time, right? And we have seen that there was a record high of 15.5 lakh crore in fiscal year 2026 when it comes to the certificate of deposits. So the CD issuances have increased. They have reached a record of 15.5 lakh crores in the fiscal year 26. Now the credit to deposit ratio rose to an all-time high of 83%. It has increased to an all-time high of 83% from 82.4% due to the deposit outflows and continued credit growth. Clear to everyone? So CD ratio is an all-time high of 83%. Please remember this. The total bank credit was at 207.7 lakh crore. Aggregate bank deposits were at 250.1 lakh crore. So how many are the credit? How many are the deposits? Everything we have covered. Credit 207.7 lakh crore. Deposit 250.1 lakh crore. I know that there is a lot of data, my dear friends, but this is what we need to cover, right? So basically, according to this RBI data, if we see the total bank deposit, it's went down to 37.9%. Okay. The reason was savings account 210 basis points reduced to 28.9%. Overall bank deposits have increased by 10%, right? Savings account balances increased by 8%. CD, certificate of deposits, 15.5 lakh crores, registering 17% up, and all-time high of credit to deposit ratio, that is the proportion of bank's total loan to its total deposit, that is basically the 83%. So that's all we need to remember from here. Let's try to answer the question one by one. So please tell me the right answer to the first question. The low cost CASA deposits has fell to 2-year low to what percentage? What was the percentage? It was around 37%, right? The decline is driven mainly by which kind of accounts? It was savings accounts. Overall bank deposits grew by how much percent? Overall bank deposits grown by 10%. Certificate of deposits reached a record what amount? 15.5 lakh crores. CD ratio is at an all-time high of what percent? 83%. Absolutely right. Everybody is able to give me the right answer here. Absolutely right. Well done. Well done everyone. Let's move on to the next news article. So before moving on to the next news article, please tell me, are you guys enjoying the session? We have covered 14 one of the very important articles today from the examination point of view. Are you guys enjoying it? Okay, I can see in the chat box that yes, people are saying that yes, we are enjoying, and well done. Kashish, Ujwal, Ria, Amandeep, Ria, Sijegu, Ujwal, Material Share. Everybody has basically, Harshal, everybody has given me the right answer. Well done, my dear friends, well done. That's how I want all of you to perform in the examination as well. If you can perform here, you can perform in the exam also. Okay, let's move ahead to the next part. The 8th Poshan pakhwada, April 9 to 23, 2026. Okay, so the Ministry of Women and Child Development launched the 8th Poshan pakhwada at Vigyan Bhavan on April 9, 2026. What was the theme? The theme is of maximizing brain development in the first 6 years of the life. Guys, why exactly we are trying to maximize the brain development? So K2 is saying, sir, missed you for the current affairs. So, but we are already here, K2, right? Now I think you can enjoy the current affairs. Kashish is saying, sir, session is for 3 hours. Yes, it might last till 3 hours, right? So now moving ahead. So guys, why exactly we are focusing on the brain development? Let's take an example. See, when you are creating a very huge building, before creating a very huge building, you have a very strong foundation, right? You are having a very strong foundation to make a very huge building. And same case is with the person itself. When we want to ensure that the person is having a very good mental capabilities and a healthy thing, so for that the foundation starts in the childhood days. That's why we are focusing on the brain development, right, in the very first 6 years of the life. Now the nationwide campaign has been conducted from April 9 to April 2023 under the mission Poshan 2.0, and we are focusing on the first 1000 days as they are really very critical for the brain development, and 85% of the brain development occurs by the age 6. That is why we are focusing on the first 1000 days of a child, so that their brain can develop properly and they are able to live their life completely in a very good manner. So maximizing brain development in the first 6 years of life, that is what it is, right? Okay, now moving ahead, India withdraws proposal to host COP33. See guys, let me tell you that India earlier announced that India will be hosting the 33rd conference of the parties of the United Nations Framework Convention on the Climate Change, right? But recently India has announced that it is withdrawing from its proposal, and right now only South Korea is there, the part of the proposal which can become the country to basically hosting the 2028 summit. So India has announced during the high level segment of COP28 in December 2023 held in the UAE that we will be hosting, but now India has withdrawn from that particular event. When it comes to the United Nations Framework Convention on the Climate Change, it is an international treaty adopted in 1992. See guys, Rio Earth Summit, you must have heard so many times about the Rio Earth Summit, right? So basically this was held in 1992, where we basically took a decision to stabilizing greenhouse gas concentrations in the atmosphere, right, which provided an overall global framework for climate negotiations. And when it comes to the conference of the parties, it is basically what happens is when we are having such kind of major organization, annually they basically decide that okay, we will be meeting annually, right? So we can decide on the better things, we can see that okay, what exactly are the targets, how exactly we are progressing towards them. So these are all the areas on which they will be working about. So for the climate, for all countries and the parties, the conference of parties basically took place, right? So that's all. Now please try to give me the answer to this part. Please tell me the name of the ministry which has launched the 8th Poshan pakhwada. Quickly tell me here in the chat box. It is the Ministry of Women and Child Development, right? What is the theme? Maximizing brain development in the first 6 years of life. That is the right answer. Now, the nationwide campaign has been conducted from April 9 to April 2023. Under which campaign? Mission Poshan 2.0. That is the right answer. Now we have, it highlights that the first dash days are very critical. How many days we are basically calculating here? 1000 days. Okay, 1000 days is the right answer. Now, which country has basically withdrawn its proposal to host the 33rd Conference of Parties? It is India. And what is the year in which the COP, 33rd COP of UNFCCC was going to be conducted? In 2028. Now please tell me in which year the Rio Summit took place, when the UNFCCC International Treaty was adopted. It is 1992. Absolutely right. Done? Are you guys done with this? Now, my dear friends, let me tell you that the next article is a very, very important article from the examination point of view. Okay? Next article is a very, very important article. Please try to ensure that you are covering it in a very holistical manner. Now, moving ahead. Now, moving ahead, my dear friends, that government notifies Startup India Fund of Funds 2.0 with the 10,000 crore corpus. Okay? A very, very important part. Now, very, very important article. Now, how exactly we can understand? Try to see. See, guys, try to see. There are startups who want to have some money so that they can run their businesses. Right? So, let's take an example. Now, let's take your example. Let's take an example that you are having some 100 rupees. Right? And you want to invest in it. You have two options. One is that you will on your own identify the company, pick the company of a particular sector in which you can basically, in which you can invest your money, right? And then there is another option that you can invest your money in the mutual fund, where there are experts who are investing your money. They are basically pooling the money together of you as well as some other people, and then they're investing in the market, in the companies which are going good, right? So you have now just outsourced that particular part, right, by investing in the mutual fund, right? Similarly, Government of India has created a kind of fund which is going to help the startups. Understood? So what exactly it is, let me tell you. Let's take an example. There is a very big tanker, right? It is full of water. It is full of water, right? And Government of India is basically adding water to this tanker. Okay? Now this tanker is connected with some small tankers, right? It is connected with some small tankers. So water is flowing from this big tanker to the small tankers, and now then these tankers, small tankers, are giving water to the homes of the particular area, right? Are you guys getting the point? So basically this big tanker, from the big tanker, the water is going to the small tanker, then the small tankers are giving water ahead. Similarly, Government of India has basically created this tank. When I say this is a tank, that this is the fund of funds, right? So there is a small fund. This small tanker is a small fund which is powered by this very big fund, and these small funds are then giving money to the startups. Getting the point? So let's try to see this with the help of directly moving on to the article. So Ministry of Commerce and Industry has notified Startup India Fund of funds with a total corpus of rupees 10,000 crore to mobilize venture and the growth capital for startups. See guys, we want to mobilize venture and the growth capital for the startups, right? That's why what we have done, we have created a big tank of rupees 10,000 crore. Okay, and this basically scheme has been launched on the parts of the scheme which was launched in 2016, that is the Fund for Startups 1.0. Now it is the Fund for Startups 2.0, right, with a corpus of 10,000 crores. Now what will happen, and here the corpus of rupees 10,000 crore will be committed to a eligible SEBI registered alternative investment funds. So basically this big tanker 10,000 crore, it will go to the SEBI registered alternative investment funds, right? Then these alternative investment funds will be pulling the money further to the startups. Are you guys getting the point? So the alternative investment funds, which are the part of the 16th and the 17th finance commission cycles, so they will be given this particular money from the rupees 10,000 crore funds. Now this investment will be focusing on the priority segments like deep tech startups, early growth startups, technology driven and innovative manufacturing startups, and the sector stage agnostic startups. So these are the different areas on which they will be working on. Clear to you, everybody? Now a structured selection process for the alternative investment fund will be followed through a screening by a venture capital investment committee. So who will be doing this screening, guys? It is the venture capital committee that will be doing the screening, which will be comprising of the veterans from the startup ecosystem. जो already startup ecosystem में बहुत अच्छा काम कर चुके हैं. So it will be comprising of those veterans, and there will be a empowered committee also, which will be constituted to monitor the implementation and performance of the scheme. So scheme की performance को monitor करेंगे, उसकी implementation को monitor करेंगे. So there will be a venture capital investment committee, right, through which selection process will be taking place, and the monitoring will be done by empowered committee. ठीक है? And there is basically a provision of co-investment by the government and institutional investors under the umbrella framework under this Startup India Funds of Funds 2.0. ठीक है? Now a very important point, SIDBI will be acting as the implementation agency, and another domestic agency will also be selected for implementation. The fund of fund will contribute to AIS for investing in entities which are recognized as startups by the central government. So basically the startups which are recognized by the central government, they will be getting the money from alternative investment funds, and these alternative investment funds will be getting the money from the fund of fund, that is of the rupees 10,000 crore. If any person is having any doubt here in this particular new scheme, please tell me in the chat box. I will explain you again, but I want that before moving ahead, everything is clear for all of you. See, venture capital investment committee will be there, which will be, through which the selection process will be going on. Then we will be having empowered committee, which will be constituted to monitor implementation and the performance of the scheme. So that's how this is going to work. Clear? Now guys, let's move ahead to the fund of fund for startups. See guys, the fund of fund for startups was basically earlier launched, right? And on the success of the fund of fund for startups, now this fund of fund 2.0 has been launched. Now the fund of fund for startups was launched on 16th of January 2016 under the Startup India Action Plan. It has an approved corpus of rupees 10,000 crore for contribution to SEBI registered alternative investment funds. See guys, very very important. It has an approved corpus of 10,000 crores. Objective was very simple, to support development and growth of innovation driven enterprises by facilitating funding for startups. The FFS provides funding through participation in the capital of alternative investment funds rather than direct investment in the startups. Alternative investment funds supported under the FFS must invest at least twice the amount received from the FFS. See guys, see, very important. The alternative investment funds which will be supporting under the FFS, they have to invest at least twice the amount which they have received from the FFS. If they have got the, let's take an example, 1,000 crore from them, then they have to invest at least 2,000 crore. Getting the point? That's how it is going to work. Clear? Now let's try to answer this question. Ministry of Commerce and Industry has notified Startup India Fund of Fund with the total corpus. What is the total corpus? 10,000 crore. Absolutely right. Now the next part, the scheme builds on fund of fund for startups which were launched in which year? 2016. Moving ahead, a structured selection process for AIS will be followed through a screening by a dash committee. What is the name of that committee? Venture Capital Investment Committee. And my dear friends, monitoring of the implementation of the scheme will be done by empowered committee. Right? Clear to everyone? And what will be the name of the implementation agency here? The name of the implementation agency will be SIDBI. Well done everyone. Well done. I'm really glad to see all of you here today performing really on the trot by giving me all the right answers in the chat box, guys. Hats off to all of you. Please pat your back. That yes. See guys, let me tell you that these are the very, very new initiatives which have been highlighted on the PIB that we are covering right now in the today's session, right? And these are some areas across which the questions are expected, because these are the schemes which have been launched recently by the government, and these are really very, very important from examination point of view. Okay, now let's move ahead to the next part. Let's move ahead to the next article. CPI based inflation for March 2026 has been released. See guys, consumer price index. So consumer price index based inflation has been launched for the month of March 2026. Let me tell you here that this data is not that much important right now. Why so? What is the reason behind that? Although let me discuss it with you that this time the All India Consumer Price Index with the base year of 2024 for March 2026 was over 3.4%. It was over 3.4%, right? The base year is 2024. Let me tell you guys why it is not important, because it is for the month of March. In the month of May, you will be getting this data for the month of April, right? So that April wala data will be more important for you from the examination point of view. Clear? That is why it is not important. Now guys, 8th Poshan pakhwada we have already covered. So I won't be covering it again. It was again in the news articles. That's why we have covered again in this particular part, right? So no need to cover it again. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys agree with me? Please tell me. You guys really required to cover this again? No, na? Okay, let's move ahead. Let's move on to the next article. Ministry of Health launches mobile application for the community health officers. Ministry of Health launches mobile application for community health officers. So my dear friends, recently a new initiative has been launched by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, where we have launched a mobile application. This mobile application is going to support the clinical workflow of the community health officers. See guys, whoever the community health officers which are working, their workflow will be more organized and supported by this mobile application. And this mobile application, who has developed this mobile application? Developed by ICMR, that is Council of Medical Research, for community health officers at the sub-center Ayushman Arogya Mandirs. Now my dear friends, this aligns with the 12 service packages under the comprehensive primary health care. So comprehensive primary health care ke andar there are 12 service packages, and it will be aligned with, this application will be aligned with those services. Okay. So basically this application will be telling you everything. Let me tell you an example guys. Like today I have created a video for all of you that how to fill the form filling process for the RBI Grade B 2026 exam, right? A step by step process has been shown to you. So through that it is very clear for you that okay, what are the different steps, what are the details we have to add, how we have to add the details, what are the prerequisite documents, when and how they have to be uploaded, right? Similarly, this application will help these officers to structure their clinical workflow. Like when they want to assess the patient, how exactly they are required to do that. A proper guidance on patient assessment will be there, including the history, their physical examination, their relevant diagnostic tests. So whatever is required in that particular scenario, that application will be helping it. Understood? So it helps identify emergency cases for referral and provides pre-referral management. So emergency cases को भी identify करने में help करेगा, referral ताकि उनको refer किया जा सके, और pre-referral management formalities cannot be done, right? Can also be done while supporting treatment, referral or the teleconsultation for non-emergency cases. If there is non-emergency case, we can basically support the treatment, we can basically provide the teleconsultation for that, because emergency cases are required to be solved earlier as compared to the non-emergency cases. Do you guys agree with me, right? So this application guys, let me tell you that it is having total 3 sections. One is the workflow, right? then assessment tool, and then the treat and counsel. 3 sections: workflow, assessment tool, and treat and counsel. And it is having different colors also for making it more interactive. Like there is a color coded decision system, red, orange, yellow and green for the clinical guidance. So clinical guidance के लिए we are having the 4 different types of colors, right? Red, orange, yellow and green. These are the different colors. Understood? There are 3 sections: workflow, assessment tool, treat and counsel. Then color coded decision system, red, orange, yellow and green. That's it. Clear to everyone? Let's move ahead to the question itself, guys. So the CPA based question we already covered. The CPA was 3.4%. The CPI base year is very important, guys. This part is important. That is, base year was 2024. Now the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare launched a mobile application to support clinical workflow of community health officers. Absolutely right. The application is developed by the Dash for CHOs at a sub-center Ayushman Arogya Mandirs. So who has developed this? Indian Council of Medical Research. The application has 3 sections. What are these? Workflow, assessment, tools, treat and counsel. Absolutely right. Now what are the color codes? It's red, orange, yellow and green. These are the different color codes here. Clear to you? Clear, my dear future officers? Let's move ahead to the next article. The Ministry of Labour and Employment has signed an MOU to enhance job opportunities. So my dear friends, you know that in our country, Ministry of Labour and Employment creates a very important role, right? So what it has done now, it has signed an MOU to enhance job opportunities in the country. They have signed an MOU with the Porter and Gigin technology to strengthen employment linkages via the National Career Service Portal. तो National Career Service Portal के help से इसको किया जाएगा. It will be expanding employment opportunities and improve digital matching across the sectors. So with which organization this MOU has been signed? It is Porter and Gigin. Absolutely right. Now my dear friend, this will be done as a part of under the National Career Service. What is NCS? NCS is basically a flagship initiative of which Ministry of Labour and Employment only. What they want to do, they want to connect the talent with the employment opportunity. So National Career Service Portal is a portal where the employers are basically listing down the job requirements, the jobs, right? That okay, these jobs are available at our own organizations, and then the youth can go to the National Career Service Portal. They can see that okay, as per their skill set, what are the different job employment opportunities are there, and they can directly connect with the employers. Getting the point? So it provides a single digital platform for job seekers, employers, counselors and skill providers. The NCS 2.0 offers enhanced personalization, simplified workflows and the AI powered tools. Clear to everyone? Now let's try to answer the question. Ministry of Labour and Employment has signed MOU with which organization? It is with Porter and Gigin. Absolutely right. Now the next part, NCS is a flagship initiative of which Ministry of Labour and Employment. Absolutely right. Clear to everyone? Let's move ahead to the next article. So ANRF has reviewed the progress and launched initiatives. So my dear friends, Anusandhan National Research Foundation, basically it was launched through the ANRF Act 2023, and this provides high-level strategic directions for the research, innovation and entrepreneurship. So basically we are providing the directions for what purpose? Research, innovation and entrepreneurship. In which field? In the field of natural sciences, in mathematical sciences, in the engineering and the technology. So that's why ANRF was being established, so that we can promote the research and development. And now we have tried to assess the progress, as we have tried to review the progress and see the future roadmap, which will be focusing on the mission mode programs, societal innovation and the wider public access to scientific knowledge. The ANRF is developing AI based platform, that is Saral AI, to convert complex research into simple content. So guys, we have converted the complex research into the simple content. For example, like podcasts, short videos in the 18 Indian languages, this has been done. And this has aimed to improve public understanding and dissemination of scientific knowledge. Understood? This platform aims to improve public understanding and dissemination of scientific knowledge. Now guys, there are some initiatives that has been taken by ANRF. What are these initiatives? These are like multiple MAHA have been launched. What is a MAHA here? Mission for Advancement in High Impact Areas. So in the high impact areas, we will be advancing. So we are having that mission in our mind that we will be advancing high impact areas. We are not going to, work on the less priority areas. Let's take an example that right now, when we tell you that what exactly is the thing that you have to cover from the examination point of view when it comes to the current affairs, it is the phase 1 and 2 articles which are the more important. These are the high impact areas. They can lead to better output for you. So we work on them, right? Similarly, ANRF is also going to work on these MAHA areas, which are Mission for Advancement in High Impact Areas. Understood? Now, a dedicated MAHA program on the leapfrog demonstrators for societal innovation has also been launched, which will be focusing on scalable solutions for the challenges such as pollution, climate resilience, and disaster management. So, clear to everyone? So, these are the different things that we have launched. So एक AI बेस्ड प्लेटफॉर्म सरल AI को लॉन्च किया 18 इंडियन लैंग्वेजेस के अंदर टू इम्प्रूव पब्लिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग एंड डिसेमिनेशन ऑफ साइंटिफिक नॉलेज एंड महा प्रोग्राम्स आर देयर. ओके, क्लियर? नाउ लेट्स ट्राई टू आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन. The Anusandhan National Research Foundation has reviewed its progress and outlined future roadmap. So ANRF is developing an AI-based platform which will converting complex research into the simple content. What is the name? It is Saral AI. Guys, see how easy it is. Simple content. Simple means saral, right? Like we saw that the last scheme was very quite technical in nature, but उसको बहुत simple भाषा में, that means एक सरल तरीके से मैंने आपको explain किया, right? So that is Saral AI. That is what the part of the Saral AI also. Now MAHA. What exactly MAHA stands for? The different kind of MAHAs has been launched by the ANRF. That is Missions Advancing High Impact Areas. Absolutely, this is the right answer. Missions Advancing High Impact Areas. That is the right answer. Clear to everyone? Now, my dear friends, please give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Are you guys enjoying the session? Are you guys enjoying the session? Please tell me in the chat box. See, my dear friends, it is very, very important for us to see, to understand that we are covering the things from the examination point of view, right? And now I can see in the chat box, so many people are saying that yes, they are enjoying the session. That shows that it's really good. See guys, let me tell you, you know why the reason, what is the reason that you are enjoying the session? What is the reason behind that you are enjoying the session? The reason is your dedication. The reason is your commitment towards your dream of becoming the next RBI Grade B officer. That is why you are enjoying the session, because you want to do it at any cost. You want to achieve this at any cost. You want to go to that height at any cost. That is why you want to, that is why you are so much interested in the session. So, be proud of yourself, right? That you have decided to do something, you are taking the action to do something. Okay? So, this is something that we have to always ensure. Clear to everyone? Clear? Now, let's move on to the next news article. The next news article is E-Safe Her program launched to promote cyber security awareness. Okay? E-Safe Her program launched to promote cyber security awareness. Right? So, my dear friends, what exactly we are trying to do? As a part of the E-Safe Her, which is the new program, it is a cyber security awareness training program which has been launched, and this will be help in enabling 1 million women across rural India to safely participate in the digital ecosystem. See guys, you know that there are a lot of areas, right? And there is a lot of vulnerability when women are using the digital ecosystem, right? And not just for the case of the women, but also in the case of the men. Anybody's privacy can be hacked, right? So for that, we have to ensure that we are providing some better training to the people so that they are they can participate in the digital ecosystem in a safe manner, and that is why we want to save the women here. So E save her. So E basically stands for digital, right? E safe, right, from the cyber security. Her means her is used for women, right? So E safer program has been launched. Okay, the initiative is being anchored by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Under this initiative, there is a ministry, there is a program, that is the Information Security Education and Awareness. So we are providing about security education and awareness, information security education and awareness program, right? It is jointly implemented by the CDEC Hyderabad and Reliance Foundation. So CDEC Hyderabad and Reliance Foundation is basically the name of that organization which has jointly implemented this particular program. E-Safe Her. Okay, E-Safer is a cyber security awareness training program launched to enable 1 million women across rural India to safely participate in the digital ecosystem, launched by the METIs, under which program IESA Information Security Education Awareness Program, launched by CDEC Hyderabad and Reliance Foundation. Under this, what we will be doing, we are basically making a gender responsive community led model for cyber safe digital inclusion, which will be targeting 1 billion women over the period of 3 years up to 2029. So till year 2029, we will be targeting 1 billion women in the span of 3 years. Okay, clear to everyone? The implementation will be implemented in phases with the training of cyber sakhis in the Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. What are the name of the two states from where the pilot is going on? It is Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. The training and dissemination will be carried out through the structured programs. Now guys, under which program the METI has launched this E-Safer initiative? That is the Information Security Education and Awareness Program. And that has been launched in 2005. It was launched in 2005, which generates human resources in the area of information security. The program is all about generating the human resources which are working in the areas of information security, creating general awareness on the cyber hygiene, cyber security. Like I am providing you general awareness, right, about these articles which are being launched in the news articles, so that I can help you out in a grade B officer examination, right? Similarly, under the IESA program, which was launched in 2005, we are basically targeting generating the human resources in the area of information security and creating general awareness on cyber hygiene, cyber security among the masses. Clear to everyone? Clear? Now let's move on to the, now my dear friends, let's try to move on to the questions. So first question is, what is the name of the program? It is E-Safe Her program, right? It has been launched to enable how many women? 1 million women across the rural India to safely participate in the digital program. It has been launched under which program of METI? That is the IESA, right? Information Security Education Awareness Program, jointly implemented by CDEC Hyderabad. And what is the name of other organization? Please quickly tell me in the chat box. Let me see who will tell me the right answer. It has been implemented, jointly implemented by CDEC and what is the name of that another institute? Let me see who will give me the right answer. So it is ISA and Reliance. Absolutely right. Reliance is the right answer. Now moving ahead, to build a gender responsive community led model for cyber safe digital inclusion, targeting 1 million women over 3 years, scaling up to which year? 2029. 26 is going on, 2029 tak we will be attaining this target. The implementation will be done on a pilot phase in which two states? It is Madhya Pradesh and Odisha. And guys, recently we covered yesterday, Odisha is the state which celebrated its 90th anniversary as India's first linguistic state. Can anybody tell me in which year it was launched? In which year it was created? 1936. Absolutely right. Now when it comes to the ISEA program, Investor Security Education and Awareness Program, it was launched in which year? Quickly tell me in the chat box. In which year this program was been launched? Where we are generating the human resources which are working in emitting the general awareness about the cyber security. What is the name? What is the year in which this kind of organization was been established? I am waiting for a response in the chat box, and yes, it is absolutely right, 2005. Absolutely right. Now my dear friends, we are moving towards a very important article. Very important article. That is the National Agriculture Market. ENAM. National Agriculture Market. Right? See guys, see. The agriculture marketing in India has historically evolved through a network of regulated mandis. So we were having the mandis under the APMC, that is Agriculture Produce Market Committees, which facilitate the exchange of agricultural commodities across the regions, right? But at times we had to see that the Kisan, the farmer, was not getting the enough prices, right, for their produces. So prior to 2016, the agriculture trade remained largely confined within these mandi systems only. But when this has got expanded and diversified, the need for a more integrated market structure was there, and that's when the ENAM was being launched, right? So government launched the National Agriculture Market in April 2016. तो April 2016 में इसको launch किया गया. It is a pan-India electronic trading platform to create a unified national market for agricultural commodities. So guys, we have created a market for the agricultural commodities, right? Like you are having the market for the stocks, right? Similarly, here we are having the electronic trading platform for the agricultural commodities. By digitally integrating the existing mandis, so what we have done here, we have integrated the different mandis have been now integrated. In which mode? They have been integrated in the digital mode. So that's how they have been integrated together, right? So ENAM enables seamless online trading, transparent price discovery, and broader market access for the farmer, trader, and the buyers nationwide. So basically they can see that where exactly they are getting the better prices for their producers, and they can trade their agricultural commodities in those particular markets, right? So to produce uniformity in the agriculture marketing, we have tried to do this. So this, what exactly it do? It basically first of all streamline the procedure across the integrated market. तो जो हमारे इंटीग्रेटेड मार्केट है उसके सारे प्रोसीजर्स को ये स्ट्रीमलाइन करती है. इन्फॉर्मेशन असिमेट्री जो थी पहले उसको रिमूव कर देती है बिटवीन द बायर एंड द सेलर. लॉट ऑफ कन्फ्यूजन्स वर देयर बिटवीन द बायर एंड सेलर. Seller was thinking something else, buyer was thinking something else, so lot of confusion was there, right? Then it has promoted a real-time price discovery based on the actual demand and supply. On the base of the actual demand and supply, we can see that okay, what is right now in the real time, what is the price discovery, what is the price. So the seller can see that okay, what is the price, they can discover it and they can take the call over that. Okay, so these three things are very important: streamlining of procedures, removing information asymmetry, and promoting real-time price discovery. Clear to everyone? Now what we did is we basically integrated the APMCs across the country through a common online market platform, facilitating pan-India trade in the agriculture commodities. Now when it comes to the implementation, the Small Farmer Agri-Business Consortium is basically the lead agency for implementing the ENAM market. So my dear friends, ENAM को कौन लीड कर रहा है? That is the SFAC, Small Farmer Agribusiness Consortium. It works under which ministry? Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. So basically SFA is the monitor of those, all the APMCs which are working under the ENAM. Understood? Now let's try to understand the process flow of the ENAM. Right? So here the portal supports the entire agricultural trade life cycle, encompassing digital gate entry, lot creation with the unique identifiers, quality assaying, and competitive online bidding. You can see here from this particular workflow, my dear friends. See here, first of all, what is happening is the farmer is entering the gate in the market, right? Farmer registers his lot, right? Then what happens is assaying sampling and assaying of the produce has been done. Then what happens is there is a bid management and auction. Online trading takes place of his lot. Then there is a weighing and invoicing, right? They will be weighing basically how much that lot is all about. So that there will be weigh bridge, weigh scale, sale agreement will be there, and then online payment will be given. So online payment will give more transparency. Challan, check, internet banking through RTGS or NEFT, this particular payment will be done. Then there will be a gate exit, post trade good return permit. Understood? That's how this whole process flow works. Now moving ahead, e-payment system under the ENAM. So guys, a payment system was also been launched under the ENAM, which is the critical component of its digital architecture, which enables seamless financial transactions within the agricultural market. See guys, you can see here the kind of online payments were taking place, right? So between the APMCs also such kind of payments take place, right? So for that we are having the ENAM, e-payment system. Okay, now other key features includes it facilitates farmers access to the broader and more diverse pool of buyers. It encourages the adoption of formal digital payment systems. So all these things are basically the part of this initiative. Now we are having a ENAM portal. ENAM portal facilitates end-to-end digital marketing by the seamlessly linking mandis to a unified national market platform. See guys, so what was there? Earlier there was a portal only, right, on a website. Now they have created a portal. So this is basically end-to-end digital marketing by seamlessly linking the mandis. What we have done on that unified national market platform, we have integrated all the mandis with each other so that electronic trading can be conducted of these agricultural commodities. Okay, and right now the total number of such connected mandis on this platform is 1656. 1656 are there. Now you can see on the ENAM portal what exactly we are having. We are having single window service, unique lot ID tracking will be there, live price dashboard will be there, 12 language interface will be there, secondary sale module, interstate trade facility. So all these are the different features of ENAM portal. Clear to you? Now my dear friends, after the ENAM portal, Government of India tried that, okay, now this is the new era when we are having the mobile phones. So they come up with the ENAM mobile app. So we come up with the ENAM mobile app, which was launched in October 2016, which complements the web portal by providing simplified mobile friendly interface for accessing trading and the market related services. So that is why ENAM mobile app was been launched in October 2016. Okay, then comes the platform of the platform. So in July 2022, see guys, you can see here, after every step they are upgrading the experience of these farmers, right? After every step they are upgrading. So that's how it is going to work. Okay, year by year they are coming up with the new initiatives and launches for making it more better, right? So it was been launched on 14th of July 2022, a technology driven framework which integrates a wide range of services through a unified digital interface accessible via the ENAM मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन. सो एक टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन फ्रेमवर्क है जो सारी सर्विसेज को बेसिकली इंटीग्रेट करता है. तो अभी तक हमारी कितनी सारी सर्विसेज थी अंडर द ENAM, तो सबको हमने क्या किया, सभी सर्विसेज को इंटीग्रेट कर दिया अंडर द प्लेटफॉर्म ऑफ द प्लेटफॉर्म्स. लाइक वी आर अर्लियर हैविंग फंड ऑफ फंड, राइट? नाउ वी आर हैविंग प्लेटफॉर्म ऑफ द प्लेटफॉर्म्स. So with the help of this, user can access the services across the agricultural value chain, logistic, warehousing, quality assurance, grading and packaging, agri inputs, financial and insurance services, and advisory support also is there, right? So all these things are being provided under the platform of the platform, which was launched on 14th of July 2022. Now we are having another important initiative as a part of ENAM, that is electronic negotiable warehouse receipt system. Electronic negotiable warehouse receipt system. So these warehouses are now also been integrated with the ENAM, so that there is a seamless and efficient agricultural marketing framework, so that there is no such kind of any problem being faced at the warehouses. So what exactly it does is, it constitutes a significant institutional reform in the post-harvest agricultural management. After the harvest, we basically keep all the produces in the warehouses, right? So we are enabling the digital documentation, transfer and the monetization of the stored produce. The produce which has already been stored, then for its digital documentation, its registration, its transferization, its monetization. For all these areas, we are having this ENWR system, e-negotiable warehouse response system, receipt system. It was introduced by the Warehousing Development Regulation Act 2007 के अंडर इसको लॉन्च किया गया था. ठीक है, क्लियर है. And these ENWRs can be used as a collateral to access institutional credit. For example, one of the farmer wants to take the credit, right? So basically he can just show that, okay, see I am having this purchase, right, from that warehouse, that yes, my produce is stored there, and against that produce only I am using that as a collateral to take the credit. That's it. So this is the flexibility now that we are providing. Are you getting the point? So my dear friend, that's all about the ENAM, and you can see 1656 mandis have been integrated here, right? 1.8 crore farmers have been enrolled. 4724 FPOs have been registered. There is a trade of 13.25 crore metric tons over this particular platform. Trade value increased from 3.19 lakh crore to 4.84 lakh crore in 2026. So these are the different areas. Okay, are you able to understand? So ENAM market, my dear friends, clear to everyone? It was launched in which year? 2016. Right? Promote uniformity in agriculture marketing. What are the three areas? Streamline procedure, removing information asymmetry, promoting real-time price discovery. That's it. Then we saw what is the lead agency? Small Farmer Agribusiness Consortium, SFAC. Moving ahead, e-payment system is there for the critical component of the digital architecture. Then we are having ENAM portal. ENAM portal is an end-to-end digital agricultural marketing by seamlessly linking mandis, like how we have linked the mandis to a unified national market platform. Okay. Then we are having ENAM mobile app, which was launched in again October 2016. Platform was launched in July 2022. ENWR system, electronic negotiable warehouse receipt, is also there under the Warehousing Development Regulation Act 2007. Now let's try to solve the question on ENAM. A very, very important article, my dear friends. First question to all of you. In which year it was been launched? It was launched in year 2016. What were the three major areas? We will be streamlining the processes, removing information asymmetry between the buyers and the sellers, and there will be a real-time price discovery. So Ria, let me tell you that this is the last article that we are covering of the today, right? The remaining of the session we will be conducting tomorrow at 4 p.m. Don't worry about it. Moving ahead, what is the lead agency here? It is the SFAC, which is the lead agency. Now ENAM, what is that portal which has been launched, which is supports the entire agricultural trade life cycle encompassing digital gate entry, lot creation, unique identifier. It is the ENAM work process flow, right? Then dash under the ENAM constitutes a critical component of a digital architecture enabling seamless financial transactions with the agricultural markets. So what exactly is the right answer here under the ENAM? What exactly it is? It constitutes a critical component of its digital architecture, enabling seamless financial transactions within the agricultural markets. It is the ENAM portal. ENAM portal. Now, in which year ENAM mobile app was been launched? 2000. Quickly tell me in the chat box. In which year it was been launched? In which year the ENAM mobile app was been launched? In October 2022. Absolutely right. Now guys, please, final question. Please tell me that what exactly is the full form of NWR, ENWR. It is electronic What exactly N stands for? W stands for warehouse receipt. What is N stands for? Quickly tell me in the chat box. What exactly N stands for here? Let me see who will give me the right answer. No, Amandeep, it was not 2025, it was 2022. It is electronic negotiable warehouse receipt. Absolutely right. Now, my dear friends, let's try to cover another article quickly in a very quick manner. Right? That is of the Asian Development Outlook, Asian Development Bank Outlook. So, ADB Outlook has been launched by the Asian Development Bank, right? And it basically provides us the GDP growth forecast. So, GDP growth forecast for India has been raised from 6.5% to 6.9%. That is something that we have to cover. For this financial year, in fiscal year 27, it has been increased from 6.5% to 6.9%, right? And India's GDP growth for the fiscal year 28 is kept at 7.3%. When it comes to the world, it is being kept at 5.1% in both 26 and 27. See, for India, for this year 6.9, for next year 7.3. For the world, 5.1% for both the years. Clear? And when we talk about the inflation, it is expected to rise to 3.6% in 2026 and it will decrease to 3.4% in 2027. Okay? Now when it comes to the World Bank has raised India's growth estimates for fiscal year 27 to 6.6%. So my dear friends, World Bank please quickly tell me in the chat box. It is 6.6%. Okay, 6.6%. So there was some confusion in the last article, guys, that e-Naam mobile app, about the e-Naam mobile app, right? So it was launched in 2016, not in 2022. It was launched in 2016. Platform was launched in 2022. I hope this is clear. Now let's try to answer these questions. Please tell me what is India's GDP growth forecast for this year as per the ADB outlook? 6.9%, right? And for this next year, 7.3%. What is the GDP growth forecast for this year? 5.1%. And what will be the inflation? Inflation will be 3.6%. And World Bank has raised India's GDP growth estimate for 2027 recently at 6.6%. Clear to everyone? Clear to everyone, guys? Now the two articles are been left, right? We will be covering the remaining articles in the next session. Okay, I know that you guys are also tired. It's already 10:40. It's 10:30, right? So I think it's a good time to wrap up the session. Did you guys enjoy the session? Please tell me in the chat box. क्या आप सभी ने सेशन को एंजॉय किया? जल्दी जल्दी बताएंगे चैट बॉक्स के अंदर. Now my dear friends, let me tell you a very important part. Like some of you would be new to this particular session, right? And you must be having the question that from where exactly we have to read the PDF. From where exactly we have to cover the PDF, right? From where exactly we have to cover the articles, revise the articles, from where exactly we have to, solve the MCQs. So basically I will be showing that. But first of all, before that, I would like to tell you here, guys, now you are having that particular task. Now the task for you is what? You have to ensure that now you are revising the PDF till now which we have covered today, and you will be also revising the PDF, and then you will be attempting the MCQs. Okay, you will try to attempt the MCQs also. Now moving ahead, the question was from where to cover the PDF, right? So guys, here I have opened. Here we have opened basically the chapters website, right? So you have to click on the course. See, the website name is chapters, chapters.in. right? And on the top right corner there is a course. In the course, my dear friends, you can see that there is a current affairs package, right? On the third number, click here, and here you will see that a complete curriculum has been given to you, what will be provided as a part of the course. Here you can see the current affairs chapter of the April 2026. Here you will see that the course curriculum, you will be seeing that PDF. And my dear friends, I told you we will be providing you the videos. If you have missed the previous videos, don't worry about it. See, these videos have already been uploaded here on the portal. Only we have provided you the videos as well, so it's so easy. So that's how we have created a complete ecosystem for all of you. Okay, so we are just trying our best, and I think now it's your turn to just let us know that whether you are enjoying this ecosystem or not. Okay, so now coming to the today's session PDF, it is here only, right? The weekly current affairs chapter of 8th to 15th of April 2026. Now my dear friends, the PDF of the quick recall you will only be getting after the end of the tomorrow session. Clear to everyone? So that's how you can basically revise the PDFs. You can basically cover these things. Now coming back to the PPT. Okay, so my dear friends, that was all from the today's session. Now Ujjwal is having the doubt कि सर आपका एक दिन में 2 lecture हो सकता है. Okay Ujjwal, can you please tell me the objective behind this for conducting 2 lectures in a single day, so that I can understand that what is the requirement and then I can take the required action on it. So Riya is asking, sir, should I give this year's attempt? I am in the last year of my UG, semester is yet to happen. Okay, so basically Riya, what I want you to tell you, what you can do, just write us an email at info@chapters.in, right? I will definitely look more into the notification and then I will try to give you the answer. Okay, don't worry, your query will be resolved. Just write us at info@chapters.in. Okay, I am sharing the email ID here. Like you can see here, this is the email ID, info@chapters.in. And my dear friends, if you are having any feedback also for the session, good or bad, whatever it is, right, just share it on the info@chapters.in. Okay, now we will be covering the remaining articles tomorrow, guys. So Riya, definitely please share your query over the email. Ujjwal is saying, sir, आपका lecture best है. Okay, thank you Ujjwal. So Ujjwal, let me tell you that, see, in the upcoming timeline, we have already provided you the schedule, right? Let me tell you, right now we are having your 4 PM sessions, right? And we are trying our best in the best quality manner we are covering them, these sessions. Let me tell you a very, very important point here. And that point is that from the 4th May, we will be having the daily sessions. We will be having the daily sessions at 8 AM in the morning for that daily current affair chapter. So at 8 AM we will be having the daily current affair chapter session, and at 4 PM we will be having this session, the revision session. Now I hope that this will be really a good news for you, that you will be having 2 sessions that time, right? You have to bear me twice a day. Okay Ujjwal, now I hope that the wish that you were having, it has been granted, but from the 4th of May. Thank you so much Kashish for your kind words. So my dear friends, I believe that it's really a high time we should conclude this particular session. Now I will be meeting you. So Ujjwal, basically here is this email now where you can share info@chapters.in. So it is info@chapters.in, chapters.in. Okay. So now please allow me to bid bye for the today. We will be meeting you in the next session, and guys, again sincere apologies that at 4 p.m. today we were unable to conduct the session. We were not ready for such kind of electricity cut in our studio, but yes, the next time we will definitely try our best that we are not postponing the class. But we were already having a very good thing for you today, and that was that how to fill form filling process for the RBI Grade B exam. Do ensure that you are watching that session. It will really help you to cover, to see that how you can basically fill your application form for the RBI Grade B officer exam in without making any mistake. Okay, now guys, good night, goodbye. We will be meeting you tomorrow with the same kind of energy and happiness, and I believe that you are also joining me tomorrow as well at 4 p.m. Wish you all happy learning. Bye bye.